Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back after a new video. Today is Thursday, July 27th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got MLB action this afternoon. We got the Chicago Cubs versus the St. Louis Cardinals. First pitch will be here in about 5 to 6 minutes. Let's get into the thumb, the photos, and the starting lineups. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And obviously, we don't have any Mariners or Dodgers, so there was only about 5 games, on the slate today. Shohei Ohtani was pitching, but it was like the first game this morning at 10 a.m., so that one was a no-go. Plus, Sarah, our lead mod, is a big Cardinals fan, so I figured I like watching the Cardinals. I like watching the Cubs, regardless of their record, if they're good or they're bad. There's some nice players on both teams. I get to peep Cody Bellinger. And who doesn't like to see Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado, the future Hall of Famers? So let's get into the starting lineups. And obviously, as you can see with the lineups, I got Justin Steele, the pitcher, there on the thumb on the left. And he's got a good record, 10-3. Oh, my. 2.95 ERA with a whip of 1.11. 94 hits, 96 Ks, 21 walks. He's only given up 6 homers all year. My, oh my. So this is going to be tough. And then on the flip side, we got Paul Goldschmidt, obviously on the thumb, but they're going to be going against Miles Michaelis. Okay. And not as good of a record, 6-5, but maybe he'll be able to get it done today. He's at home, 4.33 ERA. And I'm hoping that we end up having a good matchup today. And I imagine Sarah does as well. But I like the thumb. It came out good. All right, let's go over the starting lineups here, starting off with the visiting Chicago Cubs, the Cubbies. Leading off for Chicago, center fielder Mike Tauchman. Batting second baseman Nico Horner. Batting third, left fielder Ian Happ. Batting fourth, the former Dodger first baseman Cody Bellinger. Batting fifth, right fielder Seiya Suzuki. Batting sixth, shortstop Dansby Swanson. Batting seventh, you already know what it is. Shortstop, DHing Christopher Morel. Batting eighth, catching for Chicago, Yan Gomes. And batting ninth, third baseman Mike Mastroboni. And on the mound, like I mentioned before, the 10-3 starter, one of the best in Major League Baseball with a 2.95 ERA. This one's going to be tough. Justin Steele. Let's go, baby. All right, one sec here. All right, let's go to the home St. Louis Cardinals. All right, leading off for St. Louis, DHing for the Cardinals, Brendan Donovan. Batting second, the future Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting third, another future first ballot Hall of Famer, third baseman, Nolan Arenado. The best third baseman in the league, not named Manny Machado, a great two-way player, just like Paul Goldschmidt. Batting fourth, even with his struggles, he's not Yadier Molina, but we got William Contreras. Batting fifth, left fielder Tyler O'Neill. Batting sixth, right fielder, future phenom Jordan Walker. Batting seventh, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Batting eighth, center fielder Dylan Carlson. And batting ninth, shortstop Taylor Motter. And on the mound for the Cards, Miles Michaelis. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. This is going to be a good one. Obviously, good rivalry matchup, so it should be pretty damn good. And obviously, I can show my range. I can really do anybody. I've already done Cubs and Cardinal games, but when you do this full time, and I've been doing this for years, I don't really feel out of my element. I mean, I watched a lot of Cardinals and Cubs this year? No, but I've watched enough to know what's going on. Megan's in the building, and I'm glad to hear that your injury isn't as severe as maybe you originally thought. Prayers up, and I hope that you get better very, very soon. And we're happy for that as well. Sarah in the building. I'm doing your cards. Are you excited or what? Let's go. Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's do it. $10 holla to get it started. Thank you so much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $10 holla. 90 to go. You let me know what you want to see for photos, and I got you. Let's go. $10. Let's get to 190 to go. Yes. Yeah, my dad's mom, my grandpa, and grandma, who sadly have passed away many years ago, were big Cubs fans. So obviously, I have a little bit of love, for the Cubs on that side for my dad's mom, who is no longer with us in heaven. I see you, but again, obviously, since the Cardinals are your team, Sarah, and I know they're not that good this year, they've been struggling. I'll be rooting for you tonight. Let's go. Bellinger. I mean, there's all going to be names swirling. I already knew Ohtani wasn't going to get traded at the break. To get proper compensation, you got to do it at the end of the year in the offseason. So that way you're not rushed to make a decision. And it didn't really feel like to me he was going to get traded anyways because the Angels are still in the playoff hunt. Now, if the Angels were like where the A's were, then maybe we get a deal done. But still, maybe even if that was the case, if you're as bad as the A's, maybe you just wait to the end of the year, get your ducks in a row, and see what makes the most sense for the Angels if you're going to give up a phenom, trying to get a few prospects, top 100 players in the farm system, and a couple good players to bat. So let's go. I bet you are. Let's go. All right, no worries. Glad that you're stopping by, and I'll be here for the next 3 hours. PNP, he's like, oh, I got the betting. I got to get that money with my parlay. He says, all I got to have is neither team score in the first, and your parlay wins. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. There is a good chance that you might not have any in the first inning, but again, baseball is so unpredictable. All right, I'll get you some Arenado, no problem. And obviously, I had to hit you with, some of the defensive photos playing third base. I'm excited. I definitely get the most excited when I do Mariners and Dodgers for my dad. But again, when I know that there's nothing else on, I'm going to be looking towards the people that mean something to me on the channel. And if there's a good matchup, we're going to end up doing it. So let's go. And I'll get you another one here, and we'll get you a few more once we get into the commercial break. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Miles Michaelos on the mound and leading off for the Cubbies, Mike Talkman. Pitch in the zone for a strike. And I had to make sure I looked up the proper pronunciation of both players for the pitcher and this first hitter because I didn't want to come off as an idiot, and saying it wrong. So I definitely did my Google search to make sure I didn't have that messed up. So we already know how people can get all sensitive about that. Lauren's in the building. What's good? How are you guys? Appreciate all the support, Lauren, with the channel as well as on the Twitter. Everything helps, man. I appreciate you. Top of the first, 0-0. Pitch outside, 1-2 count. Pretty hot today. I wouldn't say it's like in the hundreds or in the 90s, but I feel it's like in the mid 80s here, and a little warm. But me and Paisley ended up watching part 2 of The Witcher on Netflix. If you're looking for something fantasy, sci-fi, I definitely recommend The Witcher. 3 seasons. They debuted season 3 and the second set of the episodes, 3 episodes, but I went back and watched episode 5, which was the last episode of the first part of the season, and then they did the 3 episodes, 6, 7, and 8. Fucking phenomenal. If you're looking for something new to watch, definitely check out The Witcher. Something to keep us kind of going on the side. And also Shark Week is still in full force on Discovery Channel, and I'm watching that as well. Got him looking. There we go. Miles Michaelos with a K already, baby. Okay. I see you already. Good start. There we go. Talkman strikes out looking. Next up for the Cubbies, second baseman Nico Horner. And obviously, with the Mariners and the Dodgers with the blue, the Cubs have some of the best uniforms in baseball with the pinstripes or not. Very easy on the eyes. Great color combination of red, white, and blue. And like I said, I'm a Mariner fan. My dad's a Dodger fan since the 50s. My dad's mom was a fan of the Cubbies. I don't know what it is about the blue and the white, but it looks good. But in the Cubs case, blue, red, white, and a little bit of gray. Popped up. There we go. 2 away. Maybe you'll win your parlay. Uh-oh. All right. I said Talkman strikes out looking. Nico popped up nothing. Next up, left fielder Ian Happ. Let's go. And I ended up doing my top 5 defensive ends going into 2023 video. I told you I'll be pumping those out. Tomorrow, I'll be doing the top 5 D tackles going into 2023, but there really is no wrong answers with the list. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are definitely interchangeable. I would say normally like number 5 is number 5. And then normally 1, 2, 3, and 4 are debatable, but usually it's like 2, 3, and 4. I mean, depending on your preferences, there really is no wrong answers, though. So like TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. And the only reason I put TJ Watt behind, even though I think that I would rather have him on my team, he just had that injury, kind of plague season. And I had to give the benefit of the doubt of who started strong, who finished strong in the last 2 years. So, catcher went down, Contreras. He's holding his head. Is he bleeding? Oh, no, he's bleeding. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's got to go out. Wow. So it was a foul tip, and then his head is gushing. I hope he's okay. Whoa. Sarah, have you seen that before? Wow. He's got the long. I mean, did he get hit by Happ's bat, or was it the ball, or a combination of both? But his head is gushing blood. I hope he's okay. Wow. Let's see it again. Follow through swing. Ooh. Oh, so he hit him, and then in the follow through, the pressure of hitting the mask, and then jamming it into his skull, into his scalp, and then the blood is coming out. Oh gosh, and we already know he's been struggling quite a bit. Yadier Molina, hello. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Oh, nice. Get him stitched up. Luckily, he's got a lot of hair there. Otherwise, it would have been gushing even more. Oh, The Witcher is fantastic. Are you kidding me? It's so good. I mean, like for me, I like a lot of different things. I'm always going to watch everything that's kind of primed on like Netflix and Hulu. And like I said, I love sports. I'm going to watch Nat Geo, Discovery, History, Vice Channel, all these other, networks. But I definitely like something good, sci-fi, Game of Thrones-ish. I'm also watching The Last Kingdom, and that one is already over. They had 5 seasons of that. But The Witcher is very, very good. You just got to let your imagination, kind of run wild like when you were younger. And then, for me, like I said, you do like Star Wars and a lot of things that are kind of sci-fi-ish or, in the past or maybe, in that type of realm. But I love it. The only shitty thing is that they're going to have to replace, Superman, who ends up being the main guy, in the show because he only signed on for 5 episodes, and they're going to have one of the Helmsworth brothers come in after and then do like season 4 and 5 and possibly maybe some after that. Here goes Contreras to the dugout. Oh, dude, Henry does such a fantastic job. I mean, like I said, for me, you just have to pay attention, and if you pay attention and start it from season 1, episode 1, don't get on your phone, don't get on a tablet, just watch it. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people nowadays, even myself. It's like I'm watching something, but I'm like unconsciously on my phone looking through like, is anyone getting traded? What's going on in the NFL? What's going on in MLB? And sometimes you just got to put the phone down and social media down and just focus on whatever you're watching. But again, The Witcher isn't going to be for everyone, but I think it's great. And like I said, all my buddies here in Oregon watch it as well. And it was a fantastic last 3 episodes, obviously to end season 3. Facts. Well, now you got to have a backup in there for the Cards. I wonder who that is going to be. I imagine Sarah will let us know who's in there now. Pitches high and inside. 3-1 count. God damn you, Hap, trying to injure the Cardinal players for Sarah. It's like this is like one of the only times I'm doing a Cardinal game, and of course, somebody gets hurt right away. Oh, he hit him in the ass. Wow, that was intentional. Wow. Are we gonna get a fight? That was intentional. That wasn't that okay. Well, Ian Happ wasn't intentional, but Mike, that was intentional. That had him. That why would you do that? Why would you do that? Yeah, I'm not sure if you throw him out of the game, but that was intentional. Why would you hit? I mean, you hit the player because it injured your catcher, but he didn't do it on purpose, though. Oh, he's gone. Wow. Well, there goes Mike. And maybe you shouldn't have made it so obvious to hit him in the back or the butt right there. Well, there goes the pitcher. So as soon as I do the Cardinals and Cubs for one time, right? But I mean, like I said, you hit him right and square in the back or the butt. I mean, you could have hit him towards like the legs and had it not be as intentional. But well, there goes your starting pitcher out of the game. So I don't know what that means for the Cardinals now. That's terrible. But again, it's also Mike's fault for being an idiot and throwing it so blatantly at his back or his butt. You could at least hid the fact that you're angry, even if it was a manager's call to injure the player or not injure the player, but to beam the player, for what he did to Contreras. But it wasn't on purpose. It was, Contreras, was sitting there, Hap swung, the bat hit the mask. He started to bleed. It wasn't intentional, but these guys are rivals in the same obviously division. There is a little bad blood there, but to have your starting pitcher go out after that, I mean, I do understand where the umps are coming from, but also, Mike should have not done that. That was too blatantly obvious, and that's why he got tossed. Damn. Wow. I don't think they hate each other as much as Yankees Red Sox, but there's a little bit of a rivalry. But look at this pitch. He throws it inside towards his face on the first pitch. And then right here, look at this pitch right here. Right here. Boom, right in the butt cheek. Right in the butt cheek, the right one. Right? And that's the thing. If you hit someone in the back or the head or the butt cheek, like you could have thrown it lower, towards the legs or so it wasn't like that. So I understand where they're coming from, but also a dumb move, I feel, on the placement of where he went to beam the player. Damn. Now who's coming in? Now we have to have a new catcher to come in for Contreras with the blood, and we have to have a new pitcher coming in. And we're in the top of the first inning. Well, there's never a boring moment for me when I stream, I guess, huh? Wow. Sarah, have you seen anything like that ever? I've never seen anything like that in a minute. I mean, I've seen people get injured early in the game, and I've seen people retaliate, but it was not just one pitch; it was two. Um, that's crazy. But at least he didn't do something crazy like hit him in the mouth or hit him in the head. Then we would have gotten a fight, and then we would have been all on Sports Center and whatnot. So, well, I like to say, I like to be able to bring the excitement and bring the unpredictability in streaming. But even for me, that was mind blowing. And it shows you in sports how things can be taken in certain opinions and whatnot. But now we have to figure out. Now I got to figure out what the hell's going on. Well, I guess I don't have to use him anymore. So let's take a look at the stat line. Oh, wow. I can't believe that just happened. Okay. So the substitute. All right. Now I got to go get a photo here of the backup catcher as well. So that'll give me a moment now while I'm waiting. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Andrew. Let's see here. Try to find a good one. Okay, here we go. Oh, that didn't format. Well, fuck. Maybe this one. How about this one? This one looks, oh, that's too small. How about this one? Okay, maybe this one will work. Let's see if this one works. Nope, not that one. Jesus, come on. Can't I get a backup catcher photo? Like, is it possible? Okay, not that one. I would like to get one while he's like catching. Maybe this one. Okay. There we go. All the tempers flaring. How do you pronounce the last name of this new catcher of yours, your backup? It's Knizner, but again, when we're in the English language, there's just so many different ways you can go about it. Like, is the K in you do you pronounce the K or is the K silent? Kisner. Kisner. Okay. That's why I asked because I had a feeling. And now we have Dakota Hudson, so I got to get a photo of him now. What a wild start to this game. Just give me a sec here to get kind of situated. 2-0 pitch. Okay. Dakota. I'm doing good, Elliot. Dude, did you miss the first part of this game, bro? Wild. So the initially in the beginning of the game, we're in the top of the first, right? Ian Happ swings his bat, follows through, hits Contreras in the head, not on purpose, on his mask, jams his mask into his skull because of the force, starts bleeding, gushing blood everywhere, right? Then in retaliation, Miles Michaelis, right, decides to throw at his face in the first pitch after, and then the second pitch hits him in the right butt cheek, and then he gets ejected just like that. So now I'm throwing up photos, two new ones now, just like that, with Kisner at catcher now and Dakota Hudson. So, wow, was not expecting that, but no more Miles and hello Dakota. I guess that's how it goes, huh? I've never seen anything like that. That's crazy. Oh, Bellinger, he's the man. He's electric. Sometimes I wish he still was on the Dodgers, but I know Cubs fans love him. What's good, brother? How are you? Yeah, like I said, I've watched thousands of baseball games. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in the first inning. Yes, I've seen some retaliation and stuff, but I haven't seen someone follow through, hit someone on the head with the follow through, not on purpose, and then blood gushing everywhere out of Contreras. I mean, he has to have stitches, like no doubt. And then obviously, I knew retaliation was going to happen either right away or later in the game. I was hoping it was going to be later in the game because it wasn't intentional. But since these guys are rivals in the division, I think that's why they're like, "Fuck that, we're gonna do this." And I don't know if it was Miles's decision or the manager said do it, but threw out his face the first pitch, missed him, and then threw out his right butt cheek, and they said that was maybe too intentional, and they said, "Yeah, out of there." And so now the Cardinals are missing their starting pitcher and catcher just like that. Very unfortunate, but I guess it rains. When it rains, it pours for teams when they're struggling. Damn, that's tough. Yeah, I have a link for you, Elliot. If you don't have it on local TV, if you want to watch along, pitch is low, 3 balls in a strike. Marmol, damn, Marmol got ejected too. Wow. Well, I hope that you guys can get motivated here. I know the pitching is not going to be very good, and the pitching catching is going to be suspect. But since the 3 ejections with the Cardinals already, the manager and obviously with Miles, and obviously we will not ejections, but with Contreras out for the rest of the game, he had 2 ejections and then one guy that just got injured. So wow, incredible. Yeah, I don't know if I would have ejected him right there, but again, maybe they thought that that it was going to continue. Like it wouldn't have just been that guy. Maybe they were going to be chippy the rest of the game. But I'm not sure if I would have necessarily threw him out there. But for the simple fact it wasn't intentional. And then they threw at the next guy like it was intentional. And that's the reason why he got ejected. So, yeah, right. What's good, bro? Yeah. But again, I think also too with the ejection of the manager, ejection of Michaelis, if these teams weren't rivals in the same division, I think they would have probably let that go. But this is the first time I've watched thousands of baseball games. I have never seen that before, ever. Never, 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 never seen that before. That was just crazy. So you had Ian Happ with a follow-through swing. You hit Contreras in the head, through the mask. Blood was gushing everywhere, and then Miles decided to throw out his face on the next pitch, hit him in the butt cheek on the next pitch. He gets ejected. Manager gets ejected. Contreras is injured, and then now you're in some trouble. Wow, 1-0 Cubs, bases loaded. Wow, this one might get ugly. Jeez Louise. Cardinal fans aren't going to be happy about that. 1-0 Cubbies already. That's a good question. I mean, Sarah could answer that question. She watches a lot of the Cardinals, being a Cardinal fan. No, but everyone that told me, obviously, the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer, those are the two movies that are kind of like the big thing right now. I haven't seen either one. I probably won't go. I mean, I'm not going to go see the Barbie movie, but Oppenheimer, I definitely would see. But will I go see it? Probably not. I'll wait for it to, come through like Netflix or, one of the streaming platforms. I haven't been to a movie theater in a minute, but if I were to see a movie, I would see that one. I mean, I can only imagine if people were going to be betting on this game, or through the spread. But I mean, at this point, it looks like the Cardinals are going to give up 10 runs this game. But again, I've watched baseball since 1985, and I've never seen anything like that in baseball this early in a game in the first inning. How things kind of got out of hand. Oh baby! Wow, fair ball. Automatic stand up double. 3-0 Cubbies. I'm sorry, Sarah. Wow. I mean, unbelievable. Morel. I mean, I wanted this to be a pretty, competitive matchup, but again, when you end up having all these ejections, and then you have your starting catcher get injured, and when it can't stop the bleeding. So it's like you're already at and honestly, Contreras hasn't been good this year. So you go from a guy that hasn't been good, that was supposed to be Yadier Molina's replacement, and he's been far from. Essentially, they would love to get rid of him, and then he gets hurt because they don't have anyone else. Then you got to bring in the backup, and he's not very good either. Uh, and now you got to go with Hudson also. That's rough. That is rough. Next up, catcher Yan Gomes. 3-0 Cubs already. Yeah, but this will definitely be on, Sports Center and all the different outlets when they talk about this first inning. Again, I've never seen a first inning like that ever in my life. And it just so happens that now they're just pouring it on, to the Cardinals, and they're at home. That's just rough. Big swing and a miss. All right, take care. Talk to you soon. 3 hours long, but it feels like an hour and a half. Nice. And that's what it's about. It's like, we talk about Kanye and whatnot, Elliot, like how a lot of people think he's crazy. But I'm telling you, out of all my rap songs that I've ever grew up with, I don't think I've ever had a song that really, I got me, like I Wonder, besides Biggie's Juicy and maybe Nate Dogg and Warren G, with Nobody Does It Better. Those are my three favorite songs to kind of motivate me, and obviously about dreams and goals. It really connects with me. And sometimes you'll watch a movie or a TV show and it'll make you feel a little differently, maybe a little emotional even. So I totally get it, man. Top of the first, 3-0 Cubbies, runners at second and third. Game already getting out of hand already. Hudson on the mound. Since Miles Michaelis got ejected, just like the manager, and Contreras got hurt. He's out. So 3 key pieces for the Cardinals already out in the first inning, and you got runners at second and third, and it doesn't look like the Cubs are slowing down, and they're pacing for 10 to 12 runs already. Oppenheimer's got a great cast too. And supposedly with a lot of the shit that was blowing up, there was no CGI. All the explosions were all like legit. That's wild. I still think he is. I just think that, like I said, if you're off your meds or, you end up being with a Kardashian, your life changes forever, sometimes for the worse. Got him at first. Finally, they get out of this horrendous first inning, and Cubs 3, Cardinals 0. Now we just got to have a big performance from Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, and if we can get some RBIs, and we can get something going. And of course, our guy here early on was in the parlay, and he said if they don't score any runs, right, I'm going to win some money. Well, it didn't happen. I didn't think it was. I didn't really want to say anything. But here's PNP. Now PNP's, he said, all I got to do is have neither team score in the first and my parlay wins. Parlay destroyed. Sorry, PNP. No money for you. That's rough, dude. Oh, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So again, if you are just hopping in, this is the craziest first inning that I have ever seen in a long, long time. I've been watching baseball since 1985. So essentially, this is what happened. All right, so in the first inning, Ian Happ was at bat, okay? He takes a swing, full extension, and then he ends up hitting William Contreras in the head. And then William Contreras' mask gets lodged into his skull, into his scalp. Blood starts going everywhere from the follow-through, okay? Then you end up having Miles deciding that, I'm going to retaliate. So first pitch, he throws at his face for Ian Happ. Second pitch hits him in the right butt cheek. He gets ejected. Right? The manager gets ejected. Contreras is out with the blood. So now you're out 3, main pieces with the Cardinals, and then let alone bases loaded. Here comes one run, another run, and they're lucky it's only 3-0. So it's not over, but it kind of feels like it, but hopefully the Cardinals will be able to bounce back, but definitely was not expecting anything like that. All right, let's get some Nolan Arenado photos for you for your $10 dono that you did. We have 90 to go. I got you a couple here, and I'll get you a couple more as we go through. All right, leading off for the Cardinals. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a comeback. DHing for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan. And on the mound for the Cubbies, of course, they have like their best pitcher on the mound, who is a fucking horse, right? Crazy record with him as well. Hopefully they can calm him down. And we're talking about the man, Justin Steele. Throw to first, 1 away. Wow, what an unbelievable start to a game. Well, little grounder, should have been a little bit more patient there, but it's going to be very hard to be able to get on Steele. He's got a crazy, crazy record. Very, very good. Ten and 3 record with a 2.95 ERA. It's going to be very hard to be able. I already knew it was going to be difficult to begin with a record like that. But again, the Cardinals shot themselves in the foot with that. 285 average for the first ballot Hall of Famer, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Let's go, Paul. Let's make this a game. We don't want to have this be a complete fucking blowout. I do enjoy watching both of these teams, regardless of the record. Both teams are not very good this year. But again, there's no Mariners on today, no Dodgers on. There's only 5 games on today. But on the bright side, we're only 1 week away from the NFL Hall of Fame game for preseason with, I believe, the Jets and the Browns. So that'll be exciting. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the first, 3-0, Cubbies. 2-2 pitch from Steele. Pitch is low. Yeah, there's 2 Contrerases that are in Major League Baseball, the brothers. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Well, Donovan grounds out. Goldschmidt with a strikeout. All right, baby. Next up, future Hall of Famer, the best third baseman in Major League Baseball, not named Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado. And there's always going to be trade rumors circulating. Of course, the Dodgers and all these other teams want to have a Hall of Famer on their team. But if the Cardinals are smart, you would, in under zero circumstances, I don't care what pitchers you get in return, you don't give up Goldschmidt or Arenado. You take your L, you go into next year, and you try to bounce back. Facts. You don't get rid of your best guys. You know, like I said, it's like the Mariners. We're probably not going to make the playoffs. Padres probably won't either, like Elliott's team. They'll dribble into third base, throw to first, got him. 1, 2, 3 inning. And then the Cubs are back up now. 10 pitches for Justin Steele. This is going to be tough. I mean, even if all that shit didn't happen in the first inning, chances are the Cubs were going to win this game anyways, but hopefully the Cardinals will not just give up and they'll keep fighting. Crazy. I'm going to get you some more Nolan Arenado photos, and then let's go into the rest of the lineup. Due up for the Cubs in the top of the second, third baseman Mike Mastrobuoni. Batting second, center fielder 0 for 1 with a K, Mike Tuckman. And batting third, 0 for 1, second baseman Nico Horner. And obviously we had the pitching change with Michaelis having to go out, and we have Dakota Hudson. All right, let's get some Nolan Arenado photos here. We'll get a couple while we're waiting. Appreciate you, Sarah. $10, 90 to go to hit the goal. Yeah, it seems like the game is already over for real. Still, again, you never know how things are going to play out in baseball, but definitely surprising. All right, let me see if I can get a couple more Nolans here. All right, see, I got a couple more for you. So we got that one. I got this one here. And hopefully we'll be able to, show off some of these photos a little bit more as we go further and further into the game. But yeah, definitely not what I don't think anybody was expecting. I've never seen a start to a baseball game like that in my entire life. And I can't even tell you how many baseball games I've watched in my lifetime. I got one more here for you. Let me squeeze it in. Appreciate you, Sarah. $10 holla. 90 to go. First pitch in the zone for a strike. We're in the top of the second, 3-0 Cubbies. Oh no, you should have consulted me, dude. I've been watching Mariners since '85. I would have told you to put him in. He's been hot lately. That's tough. Yeah, I don't think the Padres, Mariners, I mean, we already know Cardinals aren't, but as far as like our teams in the room, our favorite teams, but Mariners and Padres have probably the best chance, but a lot would have to happen. And honestly, I think the Mariners probably have the best chance out of our three teams. So I was about to ask you about that too, about the Travis Scott, Post Malone, and Drake in 2 weeks. So we'll see if they end up all being good or garbage, but we'll find out. Hopefully not garbage, but of course you're going to get haters that are going to complain and talk shit, no matter what, regardless of what it is. It's like even when like Metallica came out with their new, even their hardcore fans were like, meh, it's not like the old school shit. Well, no shit. They're old as hell now. To either appreciate them or you don't. But I do agree with some of the Metallica fans. A lot of the songs kind of sound similar, Soto in a Rays jersey. Soto to me is not very good. He's a name, but I think Machado and Tatis are much better. Soto is like a boomer bust kind of guy. I think he's overrated, honestly. But again, I don't want Elliott to lose one of his guys. You got Tatis, you got Machado, Soto, Crone, Zone, Kim, little grounder. Come on, Cardinals. What kind of effort was that? You literally were walking towards the ball. Come on. My God, is it over already, Sarah? Jeez Louise. Jesus Christ. Make an effort here. Look at this. Little slow ass dribbler. No effort. Come on, Cardinals. I mean, that was just a little dribbler. They could have got to that. Now we got Talkman at first. Next up, second baseman, Nico Horner. Love those pinstripes. Some of the best jerseys in baseball. I know, for real, right? You know there's going to be some bangers on there. And Posty is usually pretty solid, you know what I mean, with his stuff. But again, his early stuff, just like everyone, early Drake, early Travis Scott, early Posty is always going to be better than, the later stuff because it's like they're hungry, to be able to make it, And obviously, once you've made it, sometimes people get a little relaxed and then they got people in their ear saying, "Oh, this is fire." And in reality, it's not. They just got their team and their homies saying, "Oh, dude, this is lit. This is awesome." But in reality, the fans are like, "This is shit. Like this ain't what it was like in the beginning." But hopefully, we get a couple bangers though. Yeah, the Frank Ocean, 7 years, bro, crazy. 3-0 Cubbies. Pitch right down the middle. There we go, Carlson. We got some defense there at least. There we go. I like Posty too. You know what I mean? I just can't believe how much fucking cigarettes that guy smokes. I mean, just like I know everyone will party and they have like their thing of choice. They're like their vice, that either drinking or other things, right? Drinking and drugs and other stuff that they get into or pills or whatever. And then you got to be able to try to recover. If you get too deep into it, you get in the gutter and you got to realize that you're killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're shortening your lifespan by partying too much. But definitely love Posty's work. And I think that he's kind of starting to turn the corner. But obviously, he's got a lot of passion with what he does, and it's Posty. There's not many, white guys, that are relative in the game, Caucasian guys that are relative to the game now. It's not like Eminem is really putting out bangers every week anymore, Got him at second with the force out. 3-0 Cubbies. I'm going to go check up on Paisley here real quick. Which one do you think is going to be better, though, Elliot? Posties or Travis Scott? Has there been any leaks from each one, like on mixtapes on either one? Have they been like a preview track to like get you enticed? Because usually that's what happens with a lot of the hip hop artists. They'll leak a track or a track will get leaked and they'll be like, this is going to be on the new mixtape or this is going to be on the new album and whatnot. So. All right, let me move him up here into the lineup since Contreras is not going to come back into the game, I would assume. Nilly Philly in the building. What's good? Kisner. All right, I got to change this. Kisner. Okay. Sometimes I got to be able to have the spelling like in front of me so I have like everything locked and loaded. You don't want to have any mispronunciations. See if I can find a better photo than this one, though. I don't like this one that much. I'm going to delete some of these photos, make some more room. Kisner. All right, here's a better one. I'm just a stickler for photos. I don't like shit that doesn't look good to me. All right, here we go. I got a better one. Grounder towards second. Throw to first is high. Lands on first base. Luckily, one away. Ejected, he said. Next up, left fielder Tyler O'Neill. Come on, Tyler. Let's go, Tyler. Yeah, there we go. Get a hit for Sarah. There we go. Now it's just all about manufacturing multiple hits in an inning. So exactly. And sometimes that's what happens. With me, it was Paisley. Sometimes you got to be able to understand what, your priorities are. And if you have a kid or if you end up having, a puppy or, a cat that ends up turning into family, and then you got to be able to change and understand what's, your priorities in life. Next up, one of my favorite players on the Cardinals, future phenom, right fielder Jordan Walker. He looks like Greg Oden. He looks like he's 30, even though he's very young still. And hopefully he can end up doing some damage for the Cards tonight. Let's go, Jordan. I got to get a better Jordan Walker photo up. This one's way better. So we're going to replace the one that I had. I got to make sure we're representing Sarah's team appropriately. Like this one's okay, right? But it's not up to my standard. We have to go here. I got to get a little bit better, a little HD 4K, something a little bit more swaggy. You feel me? Swinging a miss. Walker fouls it off. Go, Jordan. Come on, baby. The fire photo. I like that one a lot. All right, there we go. I've had to do so many different new photos because of all these ejections and everything. Big swing and a miss. Got him. That's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking Posty will have like a couple, but I think Travis Scott's will be more. There's going to be probably more features on there and whatnot. Do we know the features on the albums? Like, has that been revealed yet? Like, who's featured on the album? Daniel in the building. What's good? Magic, Cards, Rams, he says. Yeah, me too for the most part. Yeah, some of the shit is like, it's not like gonna be like White Iverson, when you end up doing, White Iverson and you end up doing like, what really got him popular. I'm not sure if you're ever gonna be able to have a banger as big as that ever again. That's like, when you have a certain artist, like that's like their calling, and it's like that one song that everyone connects to. That was it. You're not gonna get another bigger banger than that in his lifetime, I doubt. So yeah, Contreras is out, Jesus. Got hit in the head from a follow through swing from Ian Happ, and he is going to have to go get stitches. Too much blood. I doubt he'll come back. Check swing. Wow. End of the inning. They said he went through. Gorman not happy. Ouch. Well, I guess we're going to have to wait till the next inning. All right, next up for the Cubs in the top of the third, 1-for-1 with a run. First baseman Cody Bellinger, batting .315. Good for him. Dodger fans obviously still miss him. Facts. Batting second, 0-for-0 with a run and a base on ball. Right fielder Seiya Suzuki. And batting third, 0 for 0 with an RBI and a base on ball shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Let's go, baby. I was just about to say that, but I didn't know if that was something that he usually doesn't say, and then you just have to wait, right? Surprise dog. Yeah, umps are usually terrible across the board. I think we know that. You got Bellinger in fantasy? Nice. And that was nice to see Kike Hernandez go back, to the Dodgers as a utility player. I don't expect him to be like, oh my God, amazing. His batting average is like pretty low, 200 to 220, typically, but he can play multiple positions. So if the Dodgers keep having these injuries here and there, they can really move him around anywhere, which is pretty sick. You don't get too many guys that can play like, 3, 4, 5 positions. Most people can play like, 1 or 2, or if you're an outfielder, you can play, left, right, or center. But sometimes you get guys that can do that and play in the infield. So Bellinger in the box. And we got Dakota Hudson still on the mound, filling in for the ejected Mucklus. Fly ball popped up. Right to Jordan Walker, one away. Next up for the Cubs, right fielder, Seiya Suzuki, my cousin. What up, Matt? What's good? Come on, Hudson. Say it ain't so, Seiya. Walking a run for Suzuki. Pitches low, 1-1 count. But I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. And again, the reason that I am, doing this particular matchup with the Cubs and the Cardinals, because Mariners aren't playing today. They have the day off. Dodgers have the day off. So I can't do that one for my dad. And I thought this was the best matchup out of the games today. That was at least a little bit later in the afternoon. Pitch is low. 3 balls, 1 strike to Suzuki. Post is 0 features. Interesting. It's like all him, so it's either going to be real good or real bad, or actually it'll probably be like a couple good tracks, a couple mediocre tracks, and some like you know. Who do we think is featured on Travis Scott's album? Like are we going to have like Drake on there? But then who else are we going to have? Like who else is going to be featured on that? And it's not like he's going to have a feature, I think, on every song. There's going to be some, but The Witcher came out, the second part of season 3 at midnight. Obviously late last night today, which is incredible if you're looking for something to watch. And it's also Shark Week on Discovery, hosted by Jason Momoa. They had Cocaine Sharks, which was the last episode on last night, which was crazy. And that one was obviously talking about like the ports in Florida with all of the mules and all the people trying to get that product, from other locations and then dropping it into the water, and what happens when the sharks maybe eat it. And then are they attacking humans based off their behavior change? And they have all these other different specials that they're doing with the sharks. Shark Week is very good. They also have Shark Fest on Nat Geo that's been going all month long, which is nice. And then we're only a week away from obviously the Hall of Fame game, which we're going to have, I think, the Jets and the Browns, which is exciting. Chopper, dribbler, and it stays fair. Yeah. You already know Drake will be on at least one song or, 1 or 2. But Travis is so big, he doesn't really even need Drake at this point. But of course, if they have a good, little collab, it could be one of those like radio bangers or like underground, bangers. Big swing and a miss. Got Morel, Christopher in the box, DHing for the Cubbies, 1-for-1 with a 2-run double. Oh, 1 pitch from Hudson. Popped up foul. But Paisley's settling in really, really well, here, like, getting along with me and the fam, and nothing, there hasn't been any issues. She's got a huge backyard. I've been walking her even more than I did when I was with my ex-girlfriend at the apartment. So she's happy. There we go. Nice hit there from Christopher Morel. Runners at first and second for the Cubbies. But she's got a nice backyard area. House is, a decent size. We usually go for an hour walk at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and an hour walk in the evening. So it's just nice. She's happy. This is the happiest that she's been. And, the ex was supposed to pick Paisley up a couple days ago and bailed. So we'll see if she ends up picking Paisley up for a day or two sometime next week. But again, it's all about priorities. Do you care about your kids? Do you care about your pets who are family, or would you rather party? And I obviously, my priorities are my dreams and my goals, you guys and the channel, and obviously Paisley as well. $10 in donos. Let's get to a hundo. And then I have been putting out NFL top 5 videos, just to kind of get some content out there before I get into the reaction videos and whatnot, which I know will bring us subs and views, and that will get us over 20K. Like I said, I'm not really sure when they're going to be able to give me a push on the live streams. We already know the NFL market is very oversaturated, but I'm still going to grind it out. We have a cool look, so it will be able to bring some newbies in the building. I know we'll get rated probably a few times as well, but we want to be able to have subs that are going to stick. And then once we get past that 20,000 sub mark, hopefully we won't look back and we can keep going forward from there. But we all know people are very fickle on YouTube with their subs. It's a hardest platform to gain ground on. There's Twitch, there's Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook. Hell, you can get subs on those. But I think definitely YouTube is the hardest, just with the amount of channels that are on YouTube. And people just being fickle, like, subbing and then unsubbing and whatnot. So top of the third, 3-0 Cubbies. Runners at first and second. Hudson on the mound for the ejected Muckalus. And we have Gomes in the box. Chopper foul. And then we'll be going to the Mariner game tomorrow. And we're going to be recording at 6:30 tomorrow against the Diamondbacks for a couple game set. We'll do that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we're going to go into Monday, I think, against the Red Sox. Yep, Red Sox on Monday. So it just sucks. I think that we play Ohtani and the Angels like on next Thursday, but it's going to be the Hall of Fame game. So yes, I know the Mariners and Angels, they're our rivals, and I love seeing Ohtani, but I'm going to do the NFL. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be matchups that unfortunately I'll watch both, but anything that has to do the NFL is going to take priority over everything else. NFL, college football, that's going to be at the top. Gomes. Swanson around, 4-0 Cubbies. Yeah, but again, the craziness that happened in the first inning, I mean, no one could have predicted that. This result still could have happened. It's happened before this season, but there was a legitimate chance where I thought you maybe could have won this game or kept it close. Obviously, if the manager didn't get ejected, Michaelis didn't get ejected, and Contreras didn't bleed out of his head like some fucking Freddy Krueger Halloween fucking movie from the 80s. So, but again, it hasn't been very pretty for the three of our teams, the Padres, the Mariners, or the Cardinals this year. But it's still, I mean, I know it sucks, seeing the team struggle, but I'm glad that we're doing the game, something to talk and hang out with, while we're watching. I mean, the thumbnail turned out great. It took some time to kind of get everything situated, but again, I like doing everybody. I don't like just necessarily doing just just the Mariners. Of course, Mariners are going to be the priority. I'm really the only full time Mariner YouTuber that's on the market right now that does it on a regular basis. I'll do Dodgers, a few times throughout the year when the Mariners are off, just to pay homage to my dad since he's been a fan since the '50s. And then when they're both off, I'll go towards your guys' favorite teams and the good matchup. Pitch in the zone on the corner for a strike. 4 runs tonight, all with 2 outs. Mike Mastroboni in the box at third baseman. Pitches outside. 1-1 count. 0 for 1 with a strikeout with Mastroboni. Yeah, it happens. Pitches outside. 2-1 count. Hey, when it rains, it pours, Sarah. I mean, that's just how it goes. But it's still nice to be able to hang out with each other. You know what I mean? I'd rather hang out and do this particular game than do the other. Chopper, unbelievable. Everybody's safe. Unbelievable. 5-0 Cubbies. Wow, the defense is not very good for St. Louis today. That was just kind of a perfectly hit ball when you're in that position where you're trying to get the force out or throw to first, but then there's not enough time to really go anywhere. That's rough. Next up for the Cubbies, center fielder Mike Talkman. L, 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 L. How many L's? That's a lot of L's. One for two with a single. 251 average, 4 homers, 31 ribbies for Mike Talkman in 2023. New glasses. Always good. 0-1 pitch. Dribbler. There we go. Force out. Finally to second base. Stop the bleeding, y'all. Stop the bleeding. There we go. Well, at least we got a beautiful background for the St. Louis drop that I was able to find. So, GOAT, he says. Nice. So obviously, as you're looking at some of the scores, we only had 5 games, 4 or 5 games today. That was it. So the Angels won 6-0 and then 11-4. They won both matchups, and then we got the Nats and the Mets at 0-0 in the top of the 6th, which I guess I could have possibly done that game instead. And then the game that's probably going to be the closest, the one that I would have done instead of this one, would have been the Guardians and the White Sox, but I didn't really have any connection with either of those teams, and it's a 1-0 game in the top of the 3rd. So, all right, let me go check up on Paisley here real quick, and I'll be right back. So give me 1 sec. We'll go over the lineups here. Leading off in the bottom of the 3rd, 0 for 0, center fielder Dylan Carlson. Batting second, shortstop Taylor Motter, 0 for 0. And batting third, 0 for 1, DHing for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan. All right, let me go check on Paisley in the living room here real quick, and hopefully she is just chilling. She is so well behaved. I was hoping that she wasn't going to act crazy, where someone was going to have to tell me, well, I'm not sure if you can have Paisley here. So I was just really hoping that the chemistry would be good. Me being able to put more exercise with her, and everything is working out. And bottom line, she's happy. So all right, let me go run to the living room here real quick. Give me a sec. Dylan Carlson, baby. Just when I walk in the room, he gets a hit. Yeah, baby. There we go. There we go. Dylan. There we go. Next up for the Cardinals, shortstop Taylor Motter. Let's fucking get an RBI, brother. There we go. Paisley is so cute. Just sitting there, just all relaxed. Like I said, some people fall in love, maybe once or twice in their lifetime, but I have never had a connection or felt so strongly about a pet or a human in my life. And she's changed my life for the better. Oh, new glasses, girl. Oh, I like those. Those look good. Nice glasses. I like them. Cubs 5, St. Louis 0. Runner at first. Popped up foul. All right, come on, Taylor. Let's go, baby. We got to be able to get some runs for Sarah here today. It's been a long, hard, just depressing, every, few games, there's a little bit of life. But the Cardinals, every once in a while, it's like they go through these runs where they're incredibly shitty and then they get incredibly hot and then get incredibly shitty and then incredibly hot. It's like someone like in the shower turning on the hot and the cold. It's like cold, hot, cold, hot. That's been pretty much a story for them all year. Said, what leverage is the DB usually on the outside wide receiver when it's in cover two? A, outside shade, outside leverage, or B, inside shade, inside leverage. There we go. Oh, what defense there. Damn it. What an incredible play by the Cubbies there. Oh, yeah. No one's going to be able to answer that, brother. I mean, if we're talking about a lot of people that actually played football, like for Pop Warner or high school or some type of college ball, you could get some people to answer that. But you got to think, out of everyone that we have on the channel, you're probably going to only have like a couple people total that are going to be able to answer that. That's why you can educate us and you can give us the answer. You can give us all the down low on the wide receivers or the corners. And then Jalen Ramsey got hurt today, so unfortunate for him. And if there's any news that has happened in sports today, please type it in the chat. I mean, we didn't really have a day like with Bronny James and with all the other things that were going on a couple days ago where we had crazy stories left and right where we had like 7 or 8 headlining stories. I know Dalvin Cook is going to make a meeting with the Jets. I think that he would be better off going to the Dolphins. But again, it's all about money and fit. So we'll see where Dalvin Cook ends up. And there's still a lot of great players that have not got signed just yet. So lots of talent still, left available on the market. Island boy. God, their fucking downfall went real quick, didn't it? Their 5 seconds of fame, they were making, good money, probably made a couple mil, and then all of a sudden now nothing. And no one even gives a shit about them anymore. That's, I would never want to be in that position, to be like a fad. And then like all of a sudden you blow up, everyone knows you, even if they're making fun of you, and then like you got money, and then all of a sudden you're nothing. And like no one gives a shit, and they'll never give a shit about you ever again. Like that's tough. I would rather work hard and be able to make a legacy and be able to have something to look back on and be proud of, not to be just some kind of idiot that ended up making it in a 5 seconds of fame from like TikTok or a social media app. Their 5 seconds of fame was literally 5 seconds. Carlos Santana, I did see that. Got traded from the Pirates to the Brewers. Brew Crew will be happy. I love Carlos Santana. Wish he was still on the Mariners, honestly. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Donovan gone. 2 away. All right, come on, baby. Next up, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. It's going to have to be a heavy load of Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Walker. Come on, baby. Let's go, Paul. We're going to need Goldschmidt to homer like 2 or 3 times a day. Bottom of the third, Cubs 5, Cardinals 0. Come on, Goldie. Oh, 2 pitch. Pitch is low. Good eye. All right, come on, St. Louis. Let's go, St. Louis. I mean, if you're gonna lose, at least fight. You know what I mean? Like let's get a few runs, to make it interesting. Pitch is high, out of the zone, 2-2 count. Let's go. Come on, Goldie. I mean, like I said, even when everything sucks, you know what I mean? At least all of our teams have players. Machado, Tatis, Soto. You got Goldie and you got Arenado. I got Julio and a few others. So even when things suck, at least we know we have like superstars that, at least maybe can do something instead of just having nobody. It could be a hell of a lot worse. Imagine if we were like Royals fans or A's fans or National fans. Golly, that would be rough. But Bobby Witt Jr. So at least I guess with the Royals they got that, but you know what I mean. 95 degrees in St. Louis. God damn, it's hot. 3-2 count. Count is full for Goldie. Come on, Goldie. Get a hit for Sarah. Let's go. Maybe a homer. I mean, I know he's been homering as of late. He's been kind of getting on a little bit of a heater. And honestly, they're going to need his Hall of Fame performance today if they want to come back. I mean, we're going to need at least two or three, big hits in this game from him. Same thing with his, partner in crime, Nolan Arenado. Scary thing is imagine if you didn't have Goldie or Arenado, how much shittier the team would be. So you always got to keep things in perspective. Like you probably wouldn't be watching that much without those guys there. Even when things are crappy. Walked them. All right, here we go. Time for Nolan. Let's go. Let's flex those muscles, baby. Come on, Nolan. Come on, baby. You the man. 1-0 count. There's a good opportunity here. Now they're taking a little meeting on the mound. Padres and Dodgers with the Bermuda grass, huh? Come on, Nolan. I'll even throw up another photo for you. We need some support here. Come on, baby. Come on. Pitch is high, and he'll work the count. And if you can get this to bases loaded, I mean, we can get right back in this game. I mean, you could end up getting 1, 2, or 3 runs here. It's got to be patient. Come on. 11 glasses of water. We need fucking 11 hits today for the Cardinals. Now, homer would be great, wouldn't it? 5-3. That would be awesome. Or even if you get a 2-run RBI and then he gets a stand-up double, that would be just as good too. Damn it, double play. Fuck. 1, force out. Oh, they already had 2. Damn it. Well, I guess that's what happens, huh? 5-0 Cubbies. They'll have another opportunity or two before the game is over, I hope. Let's go to the top of the 4th. Happens often. It's hard to be able to get those guys home. All right, next up for the Cubbies, 0 for 2, second baseman Nico Horner. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a run, left fielder Ian Happ. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, first baseman Cody Bellinger. Let's go, baby.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry, Muscle Man. I'm gonna have to ask you to turn in your keys. What? You heard me. Are you firing me, bro? Give me your keys. Videos? I'll go too. Okay, see ya. Oh, that was really cool, bro. You want my keys, Benson? Fuck. But we were gonna quit this job anyways to follow our real dreams. And we're not going back no matter how much you bet. Come on, Fives. I just want you guys to know that you did a good thing today. You knocked the guy out and got him fired. Good job. Whoa. I didn't think he was going to fire him. Neither did I. What the? Hey, stop. Didn't look like Muscle Man.
He's at a gallon.
It wasn't Muscle Man. Oh, yeah. What are we going to do?
Nico Horner on the mound, or in the box, excuse me. Top of the fourth, 5-0 Cubbies. Come on, Cardinals. Another hit. Well, of course, like, you have to have another pitcher come in the first inning. It fucks up all the momentum and, all the Uncle Mo that you could have even ever had. Stand up double for Nico Horner. Next up, left fielder Ian Happ. Oh, absolutely. That's how it goes. Plus, we're all in the same boat. It's not like any of our teams are, worlds. And I mean, I guess for like Shep and Mike, for the people that are like Braves fans, they get to enjoy the Braves being dominant every fucking year. But for a lot of our teams, it's kind of a hit or miss. Force throw to third there to keep the runner at second, one away. I mean, like I said, we have a lot in common. Some of our teams are good, but again, like we were all good last year, and now we're all shitty this year or average. It's tough, but at least we got football right around the corner. Remember, we got a week, and we got into the Hall of Fame game, and then we got all these preseason games, and I'm going to end up doing quite a bit of the preseason matchups. So just have to kind of decide on which ones that I want to do. But also, I don't want to abandon Mariner baseball that I've been building, kind of a nice, steady fan base and trying to build that as well. So you'll see who's playing and, kind of decide what we want to do. But I definitely want to be tapping into a lot of the NFL. Wow, line drive right up past the second baseman. Bellinger. Cooking. He is cooking. Runners on the corners. Next up, right fielder Seiya Suzuki. Sarah, angry dog. Runners on the corners, top of the fourth, 5-0 Cubbies. Hopefully the Cardinals can have at least an inning or two where they can, at least make it respectable. Pitch is low in the zone. 1-1 count. Yeah. A lot of this shit is just rumors. They might want, it's like, hell, I want Ohtani, but that doesn't mean he's going to come to the Mariners. You know what I mean? Like, you can really trust more of like the local guys, but even the local beat writers, if they're not in the room, with the team members making the decisions, it's all rumor at that point. Try to go for a double play there. Only got one. 6-0 Cubbies. Fielder's choice RBI. Yeah, Shohei's ridiculous. Top of the fourth, Chicago 6, St. Louis 0. Hudson on the mound. Dansby Swanson in the box. Pitch is low, 1-0 count. One for one with a walk, single, RBI, and a run so far today. Chop foul. 1-1 count. Damn, I can't believe Hudson's already at 75 pitches already. But if you give up a lot of runs, but again, he wasn't even planning on. I mean, they pretty much would didn't even give him a chance really to warm up. It's like, it's like the beginning of the game. You're in the first inning, and all of a sudden you have all these ejections, and they're like, all right, go out there. You got a backup catcher, you got a backup pitcher. No time to prepare, no chemistry, and then obviously the Cubs are hot. With their hitting, and just kind of just fucked from the very beginning. Pitches outside. And this result still could have happened if we would have had Contreras and Michaelis, but you never know. I mean, I think it would have been a little bit closer. I don't think it would have been 6-0. Feel bad for some of the Cardinal fans there that paid some good money for the game tonight. Count is full, 3-2 count with 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Timeout. And what do we got? Bottom of the 6, Nats 1, Mets 0, Guardians 4, White Sox 1. And then obviously the Angels won both their matchups against the Tigers today with Shohei, 6-0 and 11-4. Kind of rare to have only 5 games on a day, but it is what it is. Got him. There we go. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still half of a game left to figure something out, but it definitely looks like it's over, but you never know. Crazy shit can happen. You never know. All right, leading off for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 4th, 0 for 1, backup catcher, Andrew Kisner. Batting second, 1 for 1, left fielder, Tyler O'Neill. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder, Jordan Walker. Yeah, Jordan, that would be the jersey that I would buy if I didn't already have a Goldschmidt or Arenado jersey. Love me some Jordan Walker. Stud. Yeah. Well, again, when you got Mike Trout and Ohtani, I mean, it doesn't really give you a whole lot of room to build a championship squad and whatnot. So it's like, you're going to rely on your your mid reliever guys, your bullpen, your closers, and then also, like Rengifo and some of these like kind of, role players. And then you hope that they can keep things moving for you. Ward, those type of guys. But again, it's not like the Angels are doing terrible. They're actually doing a little bit better than I thought they were going to be doing. So far. Let's take a look at the standings. I normally look at the standings every day, and I haven't looked at the standings in a minute. So hold up. Where are the standings? Go here. Full scoreboard. Let's look at the standings. All right, Orioles in first place, even over the Rays. Can you believe that? After the Rays just went off, 62 and 40. Rays are in second, 62 and 43. I love it. Twins in first place, 54 and 50. Rangers 60 and 43. Oh, back. Come on. There we go. Look at that backup catcher. I told you something might happen there. Backup catcher Andrew Kisner. Back. No. Boom. 6-1. Cubbies. There we go. At least you're not getting embarrassed there. Marcos in the building. What's good, brother? Marcos, you like that post that you had with you, me, and Erica? It's been a minute. I can't believe it's been 10 years since that day where we went out and we're doing that. Yeah. And then we were at the club, and then we were buying all the beers, and people were stealing the beers. We're definitely going to have to get that done some point again and hang out one time. Dude, it's crazy. That was 10 years ago. It was funny. Erica was like, that doesn't even look like me. Another hit. There we go. Here we go. Back-to-back hits. 2 for 2. So you get a homer from the backup catcher. And then Tyler O'Neill now is 2 for 2. And then we go to my favorite player on the Cardinals, not named Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado, Jordan Walker. And then, with just one little swing, boom, you could end up having it be 6-3. Sometimes when things look bleak, you can get a little magic. So big swing and a miss from Jordan Walker. 0-1 count. But we're going to have to link up sometime, Marcos. Yeah, me and Erica talk, here and there and whatnot. I've been telling her we should try to get out at some point. But now, you're obviously in Woodburn. I think she's in Canby. I'm out here in Beaverton now since I moved. So, we'll have to figure something out. Maybe she'll swoop us and we'll figure something out. 6-1 Cubbies, bottom of the fourth. But how are you doing, Marcos? Things good? Marcos is one of my OG friends from like 20 years ago. We used to work at the outlet malls together with like Gap and Tommy Hilfiger and Polo and whatnot when I was mobbing around in my lowered Integra. I remember there was a day, there was a funny story where it was snowing and they wanted me to be able to unload the truck. And there was so much snow on the ground. I was sliding all over the place, popped up and out for Jordan Walker. But I got to work, though. My whole body kit was full of snow, and I was sliding around, but I got there. And then we had the managers kind of teasing. You're like, oh, with your lowrider, you made it, huh? Well, I needed the money, so. And the drive was a little bit of a ways. It was like barely a 30-minute drive in the snow at like 4 or 5 in the morning. But, yeah, definitely a lot of cool people at that workplace that we worked with. And some of us still talk with some of those people, like you and Rick are still buddies to this day, and you guys are very close. So that's very cool. And we still, obviously, once in a while, we'll talk with Tara. And I know you probably still know what some of those other people are doing. Nolan Gorman in the box. 6-1 Cubbies, bottom of the fourth. Rick met his wife there. Yeah, isn't that wild? There was like, I didn't really think there was a lot of like assholes or whatever. Like everyone was actually kind of really nice there. It's just a matter of where you work. Did you work behind the register? Were we in the fitting rooms and helping people? Did we unload the trucks in the morning? Like I actually didn't mind that job. Like who would have thought that we would have such good friendships at fucking Gap, at the outlet mall? But that's where I needed a job, and that's where we all met each other. So. And I already knew I was going to be very good friends with you because we both like the Blazers, right? You had your football team, Seahawks, Bucks. So we love the NFL. You're Beavers, I'm Ducks. Blazers the same. So I already knew we were going to get along, and we're still friends to this day. Friendship's still going strong. Except I don't drink as much as you guys do. You guys are drinking machines. I've really cut back on the alcohol. I don't drink that much anymore. At one point, I didn't drink at all. I just cut it off. Just try to get healthier. Popped up, 2 away. Orion and his hot rod. Angela. Angela was the manager, and then who was the guy? What was the guy's name? Was on the gene wall that made Tara cry? What was his name? It's not Mike. What was his name? So we had Angela, and what was the other guy's name? The other manager. He was always wearing the headset and directing everyone where to go. I know you remember. Yeah, they had all the cute girls working there. Bottom of the fourth, 6-1 Cubbies, 2 outs, runners on first and second. I want to say Mike too, but was that his name? Maybe it was Mike. That's the first thing that came into my head. And then we already know about Trevor. Oh, we have some stories with him too, huh? Grounder out. End of the inning, 6-1 Cubbies, but at least you ended up getting something. Yeah, like I said, I used to drink every day. So it's like, and then I would sometimes even drink every day on the show. But again, I've dropped about 30, 40 pounds since COVID, which is good. But I still got, another 15 or 20 before I'm really happy. I'm trying to get to that 200 or under 200 level. So, definitely, things got out of hand, and I, didn't care really, it's like everyone was just ordering food. And especially if you're, ordering food, like through Grubhub, multiple times a day, and you do that for a couple months, it's easy to gain a shitload of weight, especially if you're not exercising or doing anything to, work that off. But now I'm, exercising every day. I feel my face is thinned out quite a bit. And like I said, I still need to, lose about another 15 or 20. But, having Paisley definitely motivates me to be a, better human and be a good dog dad and to be overall healthier. So more veggies, more fruits. But I'm not opposed to like going and having a beer with a friend. Like I've never been addicted to alcohol, so it hasn't like ruined my life. Like I can go have a shot or go have a few beers and I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to have beer tomorrow. Or like I can have, a drink or two or a few, and then I don't have the need to keep going. So I really think a lot of it with the drinking too and the partying, it depends on who you're around. It's like your surroundings. And if you got people that are always getting kind of fucked up around you, you're going to be more likely to get fucked up due to peer pressure, or just trying to, fit in, with drinking and whatnot. So, but now it's just, me and the fam, you guys grinding on the channel, my dreams, Paisley. So that's pretty, pretty simple for me. And, a wise person said, you only need 3 things to be happy: someone to love, something to do, and something to look forward to. Mark my words. Wise words from O-Dog. 3 things. You only need 3 to make you happy in life: someone to love, could be, a cat, a dog, or a person, right? Something to do to keep you focused, and then something to look forward to. So obviously Paisley, this channel, and obviously my legacy with this channel. So there you go. End all hairs. Let's get to a hundo. Let's go. Congratulations with that. And obviously you were drinking almost every day like I was, when I was doing the things. And so, that's a big accomplishment there. There you go. And sometimes just making little adjustments instead of being like, of course, burgers and pizza and tacos. Great. Everyone, I love going to Flavor Town, but sometimes trying to eat a little bit healthier, and eating a little bit more vegetables or fruits. And, you can still have like your cheat day, but instead of eating fast food and shit every day, maybe do it like once a week, and you'll see that your body will adjust and you'll lose weight. Angela, he said Orion and his hot rod. Yeah. Gap, Tommy Hilfiger, and Polo. Nice. 20 twin. Nice. Congrats on that. Yeah. Plus, I live in Oregon, so it's more like, we have breweries, wineries, dispensaries, and I'm more of a dispensary guy. So I mean, that's more of my style. That is me more. It's like I can do the others, and party, and stuff. But I feel that one is, suits me best. Throw to first, one away. What a great throw from Nolan Arenado there. Just like this. Gotcha at first, one away. Yan Gomes up next in the box. It's crazy how long I've known Marcos. It's just wild, But again, it's like as long as we have respect, and we have a lot of same interests, again, like some people are friends for life. I mean, Marcos is one of the first ones I told, about my dreams and about the channel, and he got to firsthand see my ESP. I told him when Russell Wilson was on Wisconsin, I said that you're going to draft Russell Wilson and you're going to win. You're going to go to a couple Super Bowls. You'll win one, you lose one. And that's exactly what happened. And I said that when Russell was like on fucking like NC State or Wisconsin. So I don't even know how I knew that, but that was one of the first instances I think where Marcos was like, "Whoa, like how did the fuck does this guy know?" Like, but anyone that ever wants to doubt with the ESP, and but to say they're going to go to 2 Super Bowls, win one, lose one. I mean, that was pretty bold, especially when Russell was at Wisconsin, going against the Ducks in the Rose Bowl. But I could tell that was the missing piece. Legion of Boom was there. Pete Carroll was there. Marshawn Lynch, Beast Mode was there. They just needed to have someone better than Matt Flynn, which they gave all that money to. And then in preseason, Russ was dangerous. And, now obviously he's on the Broncos and we'll see where it goes. And I saw Sean Payton ripping into Nathaniel Hackett, and deservedly so, because that team was the worst coach team last year. And obviously he has a goal to try to get Denver to the wild card. And, they have the best chance in their team's history to turn it around with a guy like that. Sean Payton to me is a top 5 coach. So hopefully for Denver's fans' sake, like Matt, that they don't get completely embarrassed. And like I said, Raiders, they're going to be hit or miss. They don't have Carr anymore. They got Jimmy, so they could probably go down. Chargers will be pretty good, right? But they usually choke at the end of the year because they don't have O-line or defense and shitty play calling, shitty coach. Staley's garbage. So there is actually a very small chance to be able to get second or third. Obviously, Chiefs will be first. We would think probably Chargers second. But if you can get close to the Chargers and Raiders, you never know. Maybe Denver will surprise the hell out of everyone, and maybe they'll get second in the division this year or next year. I don't think it would be that crazy. I'm not a big believer in Russ, but again, I think Sean Payton will get the most out of his players. And if Russ is being a bitch, he'll just bench him or get rid of him, and then they'll get someone else in a year or two. So that's crazy, though, how I predicted that shit even before it happened. But again, if you're a part of this channel, I usually have a couple ESP moments a game, with the streams where I can say something and then it typically happens right away or later in the game. I don't know if it's just a combination of me watching a shitload of games, reading a lot of articles, watching a lot of film, but also just noticing that history tends to repeat itself. So you just have to be able to notice the signs. And I notice the signs a lot more than others. And also sometimes I'll think of something or I'll say something or someone will like give me something like a message and then I'll think it and I'll say it out loud and then it fucking happens. It's just really creepy. It's like, the Matrix or like the aliens or the sports gods. I don't know what it is, but it's like I get information, I'll think of it, I'll say it, or I'll have a dream. And then the next day, it'll happen. It's just really weird. Like I've had certain instances too, where I'll have like a vision and it'll be like, let's say Ken Griffey Jr. He hasn't been in the news for like 6 months at all. Nothing about Ken Griffey Jr. And then all of a sudden the next day there'll be some breaking news about Ken Griffey Jr. And it like creeps me the hell out. I'm like, how did that happen? So I don't know what's going on in the world in the Matrix and whatnot, but I've definitely helped a lot of people win money. A lot of people come here for betting tips and things like that. But again, I can't do it like necessarily in advance. It just has to come to me. And then when I say it, then it happens. It's just not like, oh, what do you think is going to happen and who's going to win the Super Bowl? It's too far ahead. I'm not like that. It definitely has to be in the timing. It has to be right. That's facts. But yeah, the Russell Wilson getting drafted and then telling you you're going to go to 2 Super Bowls, win one, lose one. And then it happened. Marco's fucking head exploded, doing fucking Dave Chappelle dancing and shit. He's like, oh my God, this fucking guy. Yeah, wild stuff, man. And I think the Seahawks are going to be pretty good. So like I said, you'll be battling with the Niners, but should be pretty interesting. Oh, of course. I mean, if you watched him at college, you already know Ohio State receivers are bosses, just like Chris Olave for the Saints. So you already know that if there's any injuries, with Tyler Lockett, Tyler get to the door and lock it, or with DK Metcalf, no problem. But if all three stay healthy, that's what's going to help them try to push. If we can get a healthy Kenneth Walker the third, if the O line can stay healthy with Charles Cross and company, and then you also can get more defense as the years go on. But especially this year, maybe the Niners have a few injuries and whatnot. We'll see. But the Seahawks should, win somewhere between, 10, 11, 12 games if they can stay healthy. And then with the Niners, they're probably in that 10 to 13 game window. So, I don't think so. No, nothing. Just your dono so far. Hopefully, we'll get some goats to come in and show some love. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I said, I can grind it out and try to do the best that I can with thumbs and obviously with the new scoreboard in the background. But the baseball fans in general, I feel just like hockey fans or basketball fans, they don't support the same way as NFL fans do. NFL fans are the number one supporters on YouTube and college football fans. And it seems like all the other sports, NASCAR, baseball, basketball, hockey, there's not as much support across the board for whatever reason, you know. But with the NFL, it's like shitloads of support. So maybe NFL fans are a little bit more caring and passionate, for the people that are working hard on, YouTube and whatnot. Wrestling fans support too. Wrestling fans and football fans, and it just coincidentally, those are the two best things that are out: football, NFL, college football, wrestling, and then everything else is kind of a tier below. So but I hope one day that we can actually get the proper support that we deserve, through the NASCAR streams and the baseball and the hockey and, the NASCAR and all the others. But that's kind of a weird thing to think about, like why the support is so high on NFL, college football, and wrestling, but, the support is hit or miss with the others. Maybe because the passion isn't there, for the fans. I did not get a chance to watch Dynamite. I was watching Shark Week, to be very honest. So I was taking care of Paisley. So I did not get a chance to watch Dynamite yet, but I will. All right, we got Paul Goldschmidt in the box. 6-1 Cubbies, bottom of the fifth. Come on, Paul. Let's go, baby. Pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Goldschmidt. Let's go, Goldie. But I'm glad I can help you out, Lauren. Like I said, because sometimes people want to be able to watch games, but depending on where you're at, sometimes shit is out of market. And if you don't got the MLB extra innings, or can't afford it, it's just always nice. It's like you got ESPN, you got Fox Sports 1, you got MLB Network, but sometimes it's just nice, to be able to have other options. Now, obviously, if you're streaming, sometimes you'll lose audio or video, or sometimes the stream just fucking ends and you got to wait for it to come up. But just to have it in your back pocket, for baseball, basketball, football, hockey. And it's also nice to be able to find one where you're not going to get a lot of viruses on your phone or on your computer. That's another thing. You got to be able to find one that is going to be reliable. And they're very hard to find. Like I said, out of all the ones that I've used or researched, this is the only one that I would trust. Popped up? I got you, man. I appreciate you too. I know. Bottom of the fifth. So I've added a new Snapple in the freezer to the repertoire. Mango Madness, Kiwi Strawberry. Nice hit down the third baseline. Go, 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 go. Get two, get two, get two. Oh, he's losing it. He's losing it. Go three. Oh, Arenado with a double there. There we go, Nolan. So I got Mango Madness in the freezer. So we do that, right? I got the Kiwi Strawberry. I got that. But you know what is better than those two, or right up there with the mango? They got this one called Snapple Apple. Holy shit. It's like apple juice, like on crack. It is insane. I didn't realize how good it was in the freezer. But like I said, I would put the Snapple apple up there with the mango. Kiwi strawberry is going to be third, but as long as I have two or three in the rotation, I have to be able to find things to alternate from beer and shots. So I'm trying to be healthier. It's usually Gatorade or Powerade, but I'm really on the Snapple fix because when I can go to my local Safeway, they have crazy deals where you get a big ass bottle, like 32 ounce, and sometimes it's buy one, get one free. I can't do that with beer. I can't do that with alcohol. I can't do that with even Powerade or Gatorade. But if I can buy one, get one free, and I'm spending like $2, yeah, I would say that's a win, especially if I'm grinding like this every day. I like our chances. They're a good team. Corbin Carroll. We'll have to see what happens, but I like our chances. And I'll be doing the game tomorrow. Yeah, look at the news. Let me know if there's anything that's worth talking about. Type it in the chat if you would, please. Oh, it's so good. You don't realize how good it is, but it's the best when it was in the glass containers. I actually had one of my really good friends, dad, worked for Snapple. So when we would play video games, he'd have a Snapple mini cooler in his room. And this is back when I was like 15. And we would play PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1. Sometimes we'd skip school and just play video games. And every day his dad would come home with cases of free Snapple. And, you just give it away to the kids in the neighborhood. And that's where my love of Snapple first came across, was with those glass bottles. But then it got maybe too expensive, and now they do the plastic. Doesn't taste as good as in the glass for whatever reason that is. Like when you drink soda or beer, different taste. From the tap, it's the best for like beer, but obviously in a glass compared to a can, it's a different type of taste. Popped up and he's out. Run still gets stranded. 6-1 Cubbies. Lanning got an extension. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Like I said, I actually like Crystal Ball more than Lanning, but if Lanning can, help us recruit and eventually in the next couple of years, all those guys that they recruited and, him, having that presence at Georgia can follow through, great. And I'm never worried about the Oregon offense, even as when I was a little kid. Rich Brooks, Mike Bellotti, Chip Kelly, going through Helfrich and all these guys, Crystal Ball, and then obviously now Dan Lanning. It's the defense. The defense is always what holds us back. But anytime we end up getting a couple NFL players on the D, we end up being pretty good. Sometimes we even make a natty or a Rose Bowl. But a lot of times our defense is fucking terrible and, we get our ass kicked. Like we can score a lot of points, but when it comes down to like the Pac-12 championship, if we get there, we play a team like Utah that's well coached, has a good running game and a great defense, and then we get our ass kicked by a billion. So I hope at one point, since Dan Lanning is a defensive coordinator, give me some fucking Haloti Natas, please. Give me some Kayvon Thibodeau's, please. Or give me some secondary, like when we had Walter Thurman III and Patrick Chung, and those type of guys. At one point, we had 4 starters in the secondary all go to the NFL. We had Walter Thurman III, Patrick Chung, TJ Ward, and then we had another one. We had the fourth guy, which I'm trying to think of right now. All right, Patrick Chung, Walter Thurman III, TJ Ward, and then we had one other guy, but it's like slipping my brain on who it was. So we'll see. I'm ready. And I always see you when you're playing Madden and whatnot. So, always getting ready for those matchups in those games. I wish that that you lived where you lived before, but I'm glad that you're not there because both of us got out of toxic situations. So you're out of there. I'm out of there. But now you're in Woodburn and now I'm in Aloha, Beaverton area. So I'm actually not that far from your old place. So, but we'll find a way to link up with Erica and maybe we can all have her swoop us up and we can have a day or a night to kind of have some fun. So go get some beers or something. Yeah, like I said, I've been rocking the Ducks since the 80s. So when we used to win like one game, and then obviously the Blazers mid 80s, Mariners mid 80s. The only team that I decided to wait on was my Bucks. And like I'm a defensive guy, so when they drafted Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and Lynch was there, and then Mike Alstott, that it was like, okay, these guys are my personality. Boom, right? But again, I wouldn't have probably been a Seahawks fan. I was more of a Niner kid growing up. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. So even though I'm a defensive guy, that offense, in the 80s and 90s was incredible. But I've always been a Joe Montana guy, Jerry Rice guy. Love those two. Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, and then Dion in 94 on the Niners. That was my favorite. But I didn't want to be 12 years old and be like, look at me, here's my team, the Niners, bang, bang, Niner gang, 5 Super Bowls. And I didn't want to be that guy, bandwagon. And I had a weird feeling that the Niners were never going to win again, or for a long, long time. I was right. I waited one more year, and then in '95, when I was 13, I decided the Bucks were going to be my team forever. So, Talkman, back to the wall. Gone. Wow. How did Jordan Walker not get that? 7-1 Cubbies. Oh, Northwest is beautiful. It's so nice. And like I said, to be able to get outside and enjoy nature, I think that honestly, out of anywhere in America that you could live, to be able to have fun things to do. You got your wineries, breweries, dispensaries, so you have options there for your vices if you want to go that route. But just being outdoors, there's nothing better than Washington and Oregon for like the Pacific Northwest. Like I said, I'm only like 2 hours away in any direction of doing something fun. Snowboarding, boom. Skiing, boom. The Pacific Ocean, go to the coast, boom. You want to go to a Blazer game? 30 minutes away. Boom. You want to go to a Duck or Beaver game? Hour and a half away. Like literally camping 2-3 hours away in any direction. Like it's nice, man. Like I said, I've had a lot of friends that have like visited from like the Midwest, the East Coast, the South, and they come visit and they stay here. Or they go back home and then realize that it sucks there. And then they come to the Pacific Northwest and they live here for a very long time and then go back home, or they stay here forever. Like it's just something about this area. Like I don't think I could see myself living anywhere else besides the West Coast. Oregon, Washington, California, but California is expensive, too much crime. Washington, it rains a little bit too much, a little bit more than Oregon, but the scenery looks exactly the same for Oregon and Washington. Chopper to first. Hap retired, 2 away. Oh, it's fun. Moda's beautiful. And then the Ducks and Beavers are fantastic. Marcos's Beavers are starting to, kind of catch up to the Ducks and be better than us. And and then they ended up getting Ukulele, from Clemson. So lots of hype, for college football here in Oregon. And we know we're never going to be like a natty worthy team, but Rose Bowl is a big thing for us here, and it always has been, but hopefully one day we'll be able to have a natty before, I'm not alive. But, considering the Blazers, haven't won since 77 with Bill Walton. Mariners have never won a championship. I'm hoping that they do at some point, or at least get to a World Series, And then obviously I've been lucky with my Bucks to go to 2 Super Bowls and win both. So I'm like the Ravens in that regard, where I've been able to have success of going to the Super Bowl in 2 different eras, 20 years apart, and win. But against the Raiders in 2002, and then against the Chiefs. So pretty special. Yeah, and your team has really turned the corner, Marcos. Like, I really think that there's going to be a few teams that are going to be better than the Ducks. USC, with Caleb Williams, future #1 pick. You got them. Utah is always solid, right? Oregon State, looks like they're going to be pretty good. UW with Michael Penix Jr., and then the Ducks. So there is a chance where the Ducks could be as good as #2, but they're not going to win the Pac-12. They're not. They're going to be somewhere between second, third, and fourth. But Washington, Oregon State, Utah, you cannot take them for granted. And then obviously USC. So $10. Let's get to a hundo. Well, at least football season's around the corner, and I know we're going to get more support there. But just kind of sad sometimes when you work so hard and put, all your blood, sweat, and tears and everything. And, but I feel like I have to reinvent myself. Like I've been doing this for 11 years. I've been here on 7 years on YouTube, but I feel like every little thing that I do, I have to kind of reinvent myself, but for the better, and obviously the way that things look now, it's finally where I kind of wanted it to be, 10, 11 years ago. And that's facts. Caitlin in the building. How are you? All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th. How are you doing, Caitlin? You got any sports facts for me? Hey, you got yourself a nice little pickup. A nice little pickup from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Carlos Santana. How are you? All right, let's go to the bottom of the sixth. Leading off for the Cardinals, 2 for 2, left fielder Tyler O'Neill. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Jordan Walker. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K, second baseman Nolan Gorman. Yeah, I just wish that like some of my other friends would like support, like I feel like a lot of them are kind of low key like frenemies. They're like haters. Like they see like how hard I've worked and how good I think I've gotten, on the microphone, since I've started 11 years ago to where I'm at now. So I think there's a kind of a lot of haterade being drank and a lot of jealousy. But like I said, I always want my friends to win. It's never like, oh, I want to do great and I'm going to be big and famous and I'm going to have a legacy and fuck everyone else. It's not like that. I mean, I want to see my friends win, but I guess when you have success and in a world where it's very hard to get big on social media, you got to have the talent, right? No doubt, but you got to have the drive and the passion and the dedication, be mentally strong, and you got to have great people in the room. And I'm really blessed to have great people in the room, just like we have Caitlin in the room. Obviously, going to drop us a nice little sport factoid before she leaves. Anybody can wrestle, right? But not many people can be great on the mic, like The Rock and Stone Cold. And I feel like it's the same way on social media, like when you're, just in general doing games or not. Like, there's a lot of people that are on YouTube, but that doesn't mean that everyone's good, And I really feel that there's only a few of us that could work on a network, And like I said, like on a bigger network or, be on a show like the Pat McAfee show or NFL Network or ESPN or Fox Sports. I don't think that there's many people that are qualified, but there are a few that are extremely uber talented that definitely that, if these networks were smart, that they would, try to, offer some type of compensation or, contract to get the best YouTubers on TV. Also, and keeping the YouTube platform, maybe the same, but, even throwing it on like ESPN to Ocho or something like that, whether I wouldn't really want to be on ESPN, but again, if they're going to offer a good chunk of change and we can actually help that network get back slightly to where it was, it's never going to be back. But I mean, if I was on ESPN or one of those networks, that's what I would be doing, because obviously a lot of the people that are on sports talk are fucking terrible now. Popped up for Jordan Walker all the way to the wall. One away. We have Colorado leaving the Pac-12. Good. I mean, they were going to be garbage anyways. I know they got Deion, but it's not like you get Deion Sanders and then you're going to win the Pac-12. You were going to be middle of the pack to the bottom. They don't have enough recruits so far to be able to make a name for themselves. And if they want to go to the Big 12, let them. I just hope Oregon doesn't go to the Big 10. But if they do, it could benefit us, heavily. We'd get more money, but then the history of Oregon State, Washington State would be ruined. We already got USC leaving, with UCLA, which has made me cry up a little bit, tear up a little bit. Like, I don't want them to leave. I want to have them stay. But again, if USC can go in there and in a couple of years beat Michigan and Ohio State and be the top dog, think about what recruiting will happen for them. If it's always been Michigan and Ohio State. Now you got to actually a threat that's not Wisconsin, that's someone better that could actually threaten the Big Ten title from Michigan and Ohio State every year. So, look at this play. 1, 2, got him. Big double play. Wow. Gold Glover to Gold Glover. Danny Glover. I'm the Jericho of sports reaction on YouTube. He is very underrated overall, and I feel I'm underrated as well. So, the kids are not woke to O-Dog just yet, but they will be. Oh, good to hear. Yeah, I'm waiting. And so if it's a matter of, this will be the first season of going into football with this type of look. Obviously, I'll have football cards instead of we'll have the scoreboard and whatnot. And then, I'll be doing uploads and we'll start to keep doing that. I've been doing NFL top 5 quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and I did defensive end today. So if you haven't seen those, and of course, I know the views will be a little low on those because I haven't done any uploads in like a year plus. I used to do reaction videos, but then I changed platforms and, had to cut it out. but they've added some things on here where I can actually do them on this platform now. So, and I know that will help us grow. Doing reaction videos alone during football season will get us over 20K. I'm just hoping once that happens that they'll actually promote and encourage people to kind of, this channel when I'm actually doing the live streams. And we're going to get people that only watch reaction videos that will come over to the live streams and realize, oh, this is pretty cool, and then we'll get those people too. So, but I appreciate that. Like I said, I feel out of all of the sport channels, or wrestling channels that are out there, I honestly feel that this is the most underrated channel on YouTube for sports. Like I said, I'm on the cusp of 20K, but I don't get treated like it. I feel that like once we start to, gain ground where it's like a popular thing to sub to me, then there's no looking back. But first, we just need to get over 20K and then hopefully get pushed. And then once that happens, then we can start talking about let's get to 21. Let's get to 22. But again, the algorithm and they definitely have not been helping me out in the last 5 years, which is a little maddening. But again, this is my dream. They never said it was going to be easy. Did I think that I would have to, pop off in the first 2 years and then struggle for 5? Fuck no. But again, I'm mentally tough. It's made me strong. I've improved the channel. We got great people in the room. The thumbnails are on point. So really, there's no looking back. The thumbs are on point. The background's good. We got scoreboard, ticker, HD photos, 4K, amazing mods and people in the room. I mean, there is no reason for us not to explode. It's just a matter of when, not if, but when. So, and then who knows? I mean, maybe I'll end up getting some kind of a deal with a network before I blow up on here. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that end up watching this channel, even though I'm not on a number of some of these other YouTubers that are at, 50K, 100K, 200, 300K. But I don't think that those channels are better than me. I honestly feel if I had their audience, I would have just as good of numbers as them. And I honestly think my donos would be higher than any other YouTuber that's out there. I honestly think that my dono trains would be just on par with Grossi's and everyone else. I just need those people to be here. I need to find those people, and those people need to give me a chance, to show that, hey, it's not just a couple of these people that are out there. There's others that are on the cusp of, greatness and breaking out. We just need a little bit of help to get known. So, and I feel that like my mic skills are better than anyone else's also. No one else is going to be able to research and grind it out with the sports knowledge, with the reading and the film study. And it's not just my team. We're talking all sports and wrestling. I feel that the knowledge, nobody can touch me. And then obviously with my voice, I feel like, you got to have a good tonality and a good voice, but ultimately you have to have great people in the room. And that's the number one thing I'm blessed about is the people that I have in the room, the people that are a part of the channel. And it's a blessing to be able to have the people that I have at this point. It means a lot. It's all about the connections. For other YouTubers, it's about the money, the subs, and the views. And fuck, that shit's important. I'm not going to lie and act like that shit is not important, especially when this is my full-time job. And, this is my whole dream. I mean, I sacrificed a Jordan rookie, PSA 9, 1986 Fleer that's worth $20,000 to $30,000. I don't know how many YouTubers would have sacrificed that for their dreams. So there is no quit in me, but I just feel that I want you guys to be able to experience what it's like here that you do on those other channels because we fucking deserve it. And that is big facts. But I feel like I have to reinvent myself every, few months and, add something else new, add something else. And I know eventually we are going to make it very, very big. Yeah, Jays and Dodgers, great series. I know, wild, huh? It's like some of those people from like the Grossi raid and some of the raids actually decided to watch, give me a chance and stay. And, not just sub when he told you to sub to get me to 20K. And then like a week later, you took your sub away. You just did it to try to appease him, to make him happy, even though he doesn't give a shit about you. It's cool, but I want to be able to have subs that stick around. And a lot of times with those raids, it's just bullshit sub. Like they sub, cool, but how many are going to stick around? Only a fraction. And that's facts. But every once in a while, you get some gems, from other channels coming over. And maybe that's another reason people hate on me, with like the whole Holly Hundo situation and whatnot. So, but I'll tell you, we got some great people in this room, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Top of the 7, Cubs 7, Cardinals 1, 2-2 count, 1 out. The Jays and Dodger matchup is fire. Just like when the the Mariners and the Jays play. You already know every matchup is going to be lit. It's going to go down to the wire. And sometimes there'll be a little bit of heartbreak at the end of the game, either in the 8th inning, the 9th, or in extras. Chop foul. Dansby Swanson in the box. Suarez on the mound. 3-2 count, top of the 7th. It's pretty much been over since the first inning, but again, I wanted to do this game for Sarah, and I felt like it was the best matchup out of the 5 games that were available and out of the 2 games that were available late. That is a good question. Well, obviously, it's got to be one of our mid relievers, so it's going to be someone that's going to be competing with Spire and Saucedo. I would assume that's where we're going to put him in our lineup, unless you've heard something differently, Lauren. But I do know Marco Gonzalez is out for the year now. They put him on the 60-day IL right when I thought he was coming back. So it looks like his season's over. Must have had some kind of aggravated injury in his rehab, or they just said, fuck it, you're out for the year. Next up, Christopher Morel. But I was a little disappointed because he actually had a good year for us this year. He was 4-1 at the 5 seed, at the 5 hole, as our 5 pitcher. And then he got injured, and I assume his season's over now, which is very unfortunate. We could have really used him in this second back end of the season. We're having a mound meeting. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe Pollock. That's a good one. Utah State, Fresno State. I mean, there's going to be a couple that you could bring in. Colorado is trying to dip. So I was going to say if they stayed, Colorado State, you want to kind of keep the things together. But yeah, I think Utah State would be something that you could do with Utah. But personally, I like Fresno State because they got a bunch of thugs. So whenever Fresno State plays Oregon or any of the teams, they're always an underdog, but they always want to fight. They always want to punch you in the mouth, and sometimes they win. Sometimes they upset a big team. Sometimes, they lose, but they always bring kind of that fire and that energy. And there's a lot of sleeper NFL players that have come out of Fresno State. So if it's me, that's who I would want to come into, the Pac 10, 12, or whatever it's going to be, 14 in the future. But I just hope the Ducks don't go to the Big 10 because I don't want to leave the Oregon State vibe, Washington State vibe. We're Pacific Northwest. We are the Pac-10. We are the Pac-12. You know what I mean? It's like USC and UCLA are leaving, but, we can't have the 4 teams in the Northwest dip. So 3-1 pitch. Outside, and he walked him. Back-to-back walks. Next up, catcher Yan Gomes. Anything on the news that has dropped either today or anything that's newsworthy? We have the Jalen Ramsey. You want to type that in and kind of give us a breakdown on the Jalen Ramsey injury and anything else on the NFL side? Obviously, NFL is going to be right around the corner. And it's not like I'm going to abandon baseball. I'm not going to abandon the Mariners. I'm not going to abandon the Dodgers for my dad or any of your guys' teams. But obviously, this is an NFL channel first. College football, and we do that wrestling. And then obviously I still will do the baseball and the basketball and, the hockey and the NASCAR. But the backbone of the channel has been built on the NFL and college football. So, but I still will sprinkle in some baseball games even when we get into preseason, but I definitely want to sprinkle in some preseason games. Damn, 9-1. Wow. Right down that third base line by Yan Gomes. My goodness. They're pacing for 10. Next up, third baseman, Mike Mastrobuoni. Gomes. Right past Nolan Arenado, which normally he never misses those. That's the type of day it's been. This is my fact. My fact girl. What do you got for me, Caitlin? It's wild, huh? It's just unfortunate when you get guys that get hurt, even before we get into preseason. Little dribbler towards first, 2 away. Yeah, it sucks. But we already knew that team wasn't going to be very good this year, anyways. Like I said, sometimes when it rains, it pours. Rams aren't going to be good. Cardinals aren't going to be good. Buccaneers aren't going to be good. I mean, there's going to be some teams where it's like you play that team, yeah, you're going to win. Like as long as you don't fuck up royally, like there's going to be a lot of wins on the Buccaneers, on the Rams, on the Cardinals, and there's a few other teams as well. So yeah, Naheem Hines, the former Colt. Yeah, he was on like a jet ski and some idiot. He was just sitting on one, and then a guy lost control and rammed into him and like fucked his knee up. So he's out for the year. And they're trying not to pay him. Supposedly, they're arguing. Because he was like a non-sport activity, but he wasn't doing anything. He was just a bystander. So hopefully, in the contract, it states that they don't have to pay him, and he signed it. If something like this were to happen, but the morally right thing to do as a human being is to pay him or at least give him, a half or, don't be like, no, we're not going to give you any. That's a horrible business model. And I know it's a business, but hopefully they pay him, you know. I mean, hell, if you got like Saudis that are, with live golf and in soccer with football, trying to pay a guy almost $1 billion, for 1 year to play soccer, even though he turned it down. Mbappe, there's a lot of money out there, you know. I want a piece of it, but I ain't going to be able to get $1 billion. But I would like $1 million though before I'm gone. Everyone's got dreams and goals, and I know a lot of people thinking like $1 million is just so out of reach. But I've always felt even when I was a kid that there would be potential that if I worked hard and I got in the right group that I could get to that point. So obviously you got to believe in yourself and have that confidence, but you also have to put in the work. And I feel that I have, and I still got a long ways to go. All right, there's only been one player ever to have a 4 RBI in a game without recording a single base hit. In 2009, Rockies catcher Ben Petrick went 0 for 3. Whoa. That is a good one. That is a good one. Now I'm going to have to pull up a photo of him. RBI ground out, sac fly, RBI ground out, and a bases loaded walk. No way. And then Burrow with the calf strain. How serious was it, did they say? It's not season ending, but out for a little bit. Ben Petrick. All right, let's look him up real quick. Let's see what he looks like. That's why I like it when you can do these facts for me. Usually I'll get them with like Megan or Sarah or Caitlin or Holly, and then we can put kind of a name to a face because I guarantee everyone in the room is like, who the fuck is that? Including myself. I don't think I've ever heard of this name. And he's from the Pacific Northwest, it looks like. Possibly. I got to look him up. Has Glencoe, but I'm not sure if that's we have a Glencoe here. Yeah, coming out of Oregon. He's an Oregonian. Wow, believe it or not. That's crazy. You bring up the fact and the guy is fucking from Oregon. That's wild. I don't know if you knew that going in. Played even on the Hillsboro Hops. Let's take a look. I got one of his autographed cards because I wanted to find something cool. Let's see what he looks like. Fucking Oregonian, huh? Oh, okay. I got him with a little Bowman there. All right. See, I'll get a close up of his face so we can actually see what the fuck he looks like. That's cool. What a good fact. I can always count on you guys to be able to bring the heat with the facts. Here's him with the hops. I would assume like as a manager now or something. If it lets me bring up one. Tried 3. There are 4. Can I get at least 1 to come up? Come on. Sound like this guy is like some. Oh, here we go. That's just wild that he's a fucking Oregonian. He's in my neck of the woods. And normally I'm good about names that like come out of the state of Oregon or Washington, but this one slipped through the cracks. Okay. Cool. What a fact. That was a great factoid. Regular season. Did they say what week possibly within week 1 through 4? I would assume. Damn, it's that serious. 4 to 6 weeks. Wow. Well, yeah, definitely you're not playing in preseason then. You want, even if you could, even if it was like a 2 to 4 week thing, you're not playing. You're like, we got to save you for the regular. Damn, that's crazy. Hopefully he gets better. I mean, like I said, I think the Bengals do have a great shot in the next 5 years to get to another Super Bowl and possibly win. You know, like I said, you got the Chiefs. They're always going to be the top dog. But I like the Bengals typically over the Bills, usually in and year out, unless the Bills get a running back and improve that defense. I think the Bills are kind of like the hype team of America. Everyone loves Josh Allen and the Bills and Diggs. But when it comes down to the end, they choke. They usually can't beat the Bengals or the Chiefs. They're really, really good, but they're missing a few pieces, and they're not listening on filling those pieces with like a Dalvin Cook. You get a Dalvin Cook there, add some more defense, then you can compete with the Bengals and the Chiefs or maybe another team. But if that doesn't happen, they're always just going to be a really good team that wins 10 to 14 games every year. That's kind of how I feel. They're good enough to get to a Super Bowl and win one, but they're not there yet, you know. But they've been very close. Obviously, you know, a nail biters at the very end against the Chiefs, you know, with only a few seconds left, like 14, right? So but there is no guarantee that if the Bills made the Super Bowl, that they were going to beat an NFC team, because usually the NFC teams are more well-rounded and they have better defense. So, but again, if the defense doesn't show up like the Eagles, you lose. But if it shows up like Tampa Bay against the Chiefs or, you know, with the Rams, with Aaron Donald, then you're going to win. So it's just a matter of if the defense shows up, it's a no-brainer. I don't care who's on the other side, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. If the NFC defense is legit and they come to play, you're not winning that game. And it shows you defense wins championships, you know. And that's why I feel kind of bad for Jalen Hurts. That defense, all they had to do was play average and they would have won. And they played terrible. You know, they gave up, you know, they played the complete opposite than what they played all year. But you also have to give Mahomes credit and Bieniemy and Reed and Kelsey. But the number one reason that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, the number one, was the offensive line. The offensive line was the MVP of that World Series. Super Bowl. You know it. And they said that the offensive line was the weakest link of the Chiefs, and it ended up being the strongest piece. So that's a big part of it too. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. That's what matters in the big game. O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. Offense, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, they don't matter as much. Because if the other pieces are doing their job, the quarterback's not going to have enough time. And he's probably going to fumble, maybe throw a pick or two, you know. But if you get no picks and no sacks like the Eagles do, then you look like, you know, like, what are you doing? You pulled the wool over our eyes, and we thought you were the real deal Holyfield, and we found out that you were below average against a team that was really good. You were just beating up on teams in the NFC that were shitty. And then it came to a team that had a really good offense, you folded. So that's facts. Yeah. I was going to ask you grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3, and you just answered my question. So bottom of the 7th, 9-1. Cubbies. Big swing and a miss. Mata says, sit down. All right, come on, Cardinals. We got to get to at least 3 before this game is over. At least 3 for pride. For pride's sake, damn it. Oh for 4 with a K. Brendan Donovan. Come on. Let's get something for Sarah here. Well, that comment though is kind of not true though, because you got to think the Giants and the Cowboys were good. They weren't shitty. It wasn't them that were the shitty parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes actually played pretty good under the new head coach regime. The Cowboys always play good. They got a good offense, and look at their defense. You got Dan Quinn, you got Micah Parsons. So it's not them. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you are a legit team, right, you got to be able to bring the defense, especially if you're a highly touted number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 ranked D all year. You can't play like that. When Tampa played Patrick Mahomes, he had 0 touchdowns. 0. So it shows you, like, if you got Hall of Famers and you actually got a real D, you make him run for his life, and he had no touchdown passes. So you got to understand there's different levels to this shit. You know, there's guys that have good defenses, and there's guys that have legendary defenses like mine in 2002 with Sapp and Brooks and Simeon Rice and John Lynch. I mean, give me a break. I mean, even our role players were good. And then you got Devin White, Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr., all the guys on the D line with JPP and company. Like, once you have guys that aren't just names, they actually produce in the big game. That's what it's about. You got to come big in the big game. You can't just be big all the way up to the NFC Championship game or AFC and then take your foot off the gas, you know? And that's really what it is, because you can't tell me that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback he has been forever, and the Bucs were able to dominate. So it shows you it's doable, but you have to have the right players and the right coach, and that's the problem. Sometimes your defensive coordinator is overrated, or he's not as good as they made him out to be, and sometimes players don't play. They want to say, "Oh, we slipped on the field." Yeah, well, the Chiefs O-line slipped too, and they dominated you. You know, so if you can't get to the quarterback in the Super Bowl, you're going to lose every time. Let alone if you get 0 sacks, 0 picks for a team that was supposed to be the best defense all year, besides like the Cowboys and a few others. That was a little alarming. You know, I usually am very good at picking championship games. That was the first Super Bowl I got wrong in 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very good at honing in, but they fooled me. I thought that their guys were going to play better. You know, big play Slay, Fletcher Cox. You know, I thought that they were going to come to play, but apparently Mahomes and that magic, you know, he'll make it happen, especially if you don't get to him. So not the Eagles' fault and honestly, if you actually look at the NFC East, who used to be the NFC least, all those teams are kind of good. Washington is like 500, below 500, but they have the ability to get almost to 8 or 9 games every year. But can they get there? That's the question. So sometimes they end up with only like 4 or 5 wins. And then now the Giants and Cowboys look like they're, you know, a 9+, 10+ team win team, you know, there. And then you got the Eagles as the best team in the division, winning probably 10 to 14 games. So it's like 3 out of the 4 teams could be playoff teams. So it's not them. You know, like I said, it's just sometimes, you know, the defenses of others. Giants defense was kind of shaky, but they played decent at times. Cowboys defense, Eagles defense, Niners defense. Those are 3 of the best defenses in the NFL, all in the NFC. But again, if you get Burrow or Mahomes in the Super Bowl, people are gonna obviously, you know, root for those guys too. I remember what it felt like to be 5. Don't be spamming up my chat. Spammer. Fuck out of here. But like I said, you know, I always try to give an unbiased opinion. And like, I know sometimes people don't want to hear that. Like, Eagle fans will get pissed at me, but it's the truth, right? Like, dude, you can't give up fucking 35, 30 plus thinking that you're going to win. If your defense was as legit as they said it was, then you would have held them under 30. I mean, I get it how great they are. They're going to score points. They maybe get 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns, maybe 1 or 2 passing, but you just can't let them do whatever the hell they want. And if that happens, then it's just, going to go back and forth. And you got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Hurts. And it shows you he's a top 5 quarterback now. And if they didn't have him, what would have happened? Like people wanted to doubt him for the longest time, and they didn't really take off until they got AJ Brown. So they just need to keep, working on the game. But again, they need to work on the defensive side of the ball if they ever want to win another Super Bowl. They can get to other Super Bowls, but to win it, you got to be able to bring the D, especially if you're going to be going against Josh Allen or Burrow or Herbert or Mahomes. I mean, you're going to get all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks on that side, and then you're going to get the great defenses, more well-rounded, balanced teams on the NFC on the other side. So for the NFC team to win, it's a team effort. Sometimes the offense can win it on the AFC side, especially if you have one of the best quarterbacks to ever put on cleats: Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert. And then now the only quarterback that's in the same level as them is Hurts. And that's, you got one guy in the NFC, and then you got the other 4 up there. And then not even speaking of that, you got guys that are still good, like Lamar. He's in the AFC. So, there's a lot of AFC greatness up there, but they don't have the defense typically to match. Got the AA, attitude adjustment. Yeah, and also too, I think a lot of the Eagles fans are being a little extra with like the social media, you know, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all their platforms, dancing around and being cocky. I've always felt that if you're going to be that way, the sports gods are watching and they're going to fuck you over. Like, you want to talk shit how good you are, and you want to dance around, and you want to fucking just like unnecessarily stir the pot just because your team is doing good this year and you have that vibe and you want to be like that annoying fan, even though the fan base might love it. But then at the very, very end, you keep being cocky. It might work all the way to the Super Bowl. But a lot of times, if you got that mindset as a fan base and you see it nationally or globally, I feel like the sports gods will punish. They'll be like, fuck you. All right, you want to talk shit? You want to act like your shit don't stink? All right, we'll have Mahomes fuck you up. You won't get any sacks or any picks, and you'll get embarrassed, and you'll lose at the end. And then we'll see if the fans learn their lesson. But we obviously know 3 of the most controversial fan bases that have a lot of passionate fans, but also a lot of annoying fans will be the Saints, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. And that's never going to go away. I mean, if you throw snowballs at Santa, what else are you going to do? And then Cowboy fans are living in the past. They're like, Irvin and, Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, but they're passionate. Some know football, some don't. Some are bandwagon, and Jerry Jones is more of like making money rather than winning a Super Bowl. Got to get a better head coach. Obviously we know that, right? So you have to look at every fan base on where they're at. But with the Saints, right, they don't even like each other. But now with Carr there, they got something special. They might be able to compete with the Eagles and the Niners and the Seahawks and a few of these others, where we could actually see the Saints in an NFC championship game in the next 3 years. So we'll see what happens there. But, like I said, Saints fans hate Saints fans. That shows you how much the hate goes. Just imagine if you're a Buccaneer fan or a Falcon fan or a Panther fan. Unless you're me, for whatever reason, the Saints fans love me because I actually respect them and I give them credit, and I don't have to like talk shit. So it's like weird for them. They like kind of defend me to the end. They're like the only guy that they respect me even more than Saints streamers. They're like, this guy is fucking real. Like, he could be a rival fan, but he understands like who's good. And, and then I try to kind of get them to be like not much of an asshole, like not be as biased. Okay, it's like, okay, I know you love Michael Thomas, but you're telling me that if Mike Evans just decided to go over to the Saints that you wouldn't love him? And they're like, oh, fuck, yeah, maybe you're right. It's like, but then there's the rivalry, with the fighting and Lattimore, Evans, fuck him. He's a bitch. It's like, okay, Lattimore's a good player, but Mike Evans is a bigger player. Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame player. Lattimore is not. So, sometimes it's just being able to give them an example, they're like, oh, well, fucking A, yeah, that would be good. But a lot of times these people can't see it. And if you can't see it, then it's not going to make sense. You got to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. You know what I mean? Top of the 8th, Cubs 9, Cardinals 1. Game has been over in the first inning, but we're just chilling, having a good time. Force out at second. Aaron Brooks. Yeah. Golly. Bobby Hebert. I mean, your boy knows. I mean, I've been watching, and like I said, I love going back into history. So it's like, I'm an 80s, 90s kid. I'm an 80s baby. So obviously I love everything 80s and 90s, but also I love shit from like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. It's very intriguing. I love to hear about my dad's kind of childhood and him growing up to be, adolescent, to be an adult, and like looking through the, sport world through his eyes on what happened from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and still have love for the early baseball times in like the 20s with like, Babe Ruth and that era. But I love the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but my favorite, will always be 80s and 90s, man. Arch Manning, yeah. When they wore the bags on their head, when they could barely even win a game. Dalton Hilliard. They had guys that were 1,000-yard rushers that actually were pretty good back then. It's just, Ricky Jackson. Just you got to be able to remember. I just collected cards, and I was so obsessed with just like sports in general, but also sports cards, posters, magazines, Sports Illustrated for kids, like, the Guinness Book of World Records. I mean, I was always reading, and I was always just fascinated with leagues as a whole and players, and I always saw greatness even at a young age. And I think that's why I have such an appreciation for all sports and all the teams, not just my own. Got runners on the corners, top of the eighth, 9-1. We had to give a Hollywood Hogan boot. Yeah, it happens from time to time. You get someone coming in here for their, 5 seconds of being noticed, and then they get booted forever. Hope it was worth it. They're like, oh, I got to spam up the chat 5 times before he gives me the boot. Deuce McAllister. Absolutely. Joe Horn. Colston. Marquise Colston. That might be the most underrated. Yeah, Lance Moore, Stallworth, Stills, Meacham, Ken, right? But Colston was one of my favorites, and I know Saints fans love him. That might have been one of the most underrated, like non-superstar named wide receivers that at times played like one. Yeah, Joe Horn cell phone. You know it, baby. I'm actually going to do a lot of the Saints games. I know the Saints fans, they support me more than the Bucks fans do. The Bucks fans are fucking, I don't know, just drunk on their computers, or maybe not on their computers, just at home. But I've always had more Saints fans than Bucks fans. But I'm not going to do any Bucks games this year unless they're on Monday Night Football or prime time. I'll watch them, but I'm not going to do them. So I'm going to probably try to do a little bit more Saints, a little bit more Eagles and Niners, and then obviously do more Seahawks, so that way that the Northwest fans can get my, breakdown there. And obviously there's a few Seahawks streamers that have been doing their thing, and that's fine. But I'm going to call a game, and I'm going to give you a perspective that no one else is going to give you. That's really, I think, what separates me from everyone else on YouTube and on planet Earth, is that I can explain things better in a way where I feel that anyone, even a fucking idiot, can understand. And it's a lot of times you got to be able to find someone that can enunciate and pronunciate, have a good voice, a good tonality where it's soothing, where it doesn't make your fucking ears like, oh my God, this guy's cringy. Like, I need to have a nice voice. But then not only do you have to have a nice voice and be soothing, right? A good aura, a good vibe, not be a dickhead, right? But you also have to have the knowledge, and you have to be able to explain things in a way that are, educational and intelligent, but you can also dumb it down for a fucking moron or an idiot or a bandwagoner. And they're like, oh, fuck, I get it. Like sometimes, you got to do that. And I feel that that's why I feel that I'm going to be able to break out, on another level compared to these other YouTubers and people on TV. It's just a matter of if higher ups find me and see that, that the value is there. And like I said, being able to explain things to many different people of any race, of any age, smart or fucking moron, and that takes a skill. And a lot of it also comes with you guys, because you guys provide me extra things in stats that I don't know. So I'm always adding to my repertoire because of you. And if I didn't have you, we wouldn't be where we are here. And with the predictions and, with everything else. So I really appreciate you guys. But isn't it true? Right? Think about everyone that you listen to on YouTube or you heard on TV, right? Some people are personalities like Stephen A. Smith, but could you imagine him like on a YouTube channel? No one's going to watch. No one's going to care just because you scream and yell, or people that do watch and yell have nothing better to do. But I could think of 1,000 people that I would rather watch than him on YouTube, But it's all about having the voice and having the knowledge, having great people in the room that are really smart as well. And like I said, I would take me and our group over any YouTube channel for like, we're going to be on like Jeopardy Sports. Oh, we're fucking obliterating every motherfucker on planet Earth. You kidding me? You want to go some sports Jeopardy? Game over. And that takes a lot of passion and energy, and it's not just like being right all the time. It's just understanding what is right, what is the stats, and what is the perception. The media perception on a lot of things is not truth, as we know. So it's also up to me and Caitlin and Sarah and everyone else to be able to let you know it's not about popularity and it's not about what the media pushes. Sometimes you need someone that's going to be genuinely honest to tell you exactly what it is. You're thinking it, but you're not hearing anybody fucking say it on TV or podcast. So then you don't think it's true. You have this feeling where I feel this way, but no one else does. Am I weird? Am I being biased? And then you hear it and you're like, dude, this is exactly what we need. And that's why, we're going to make it. We can explain things to the idiots. What do you mean? What do you mean the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl? Skip Bayless said it. Oh, shit. It's like there's a reason why you got people like The Rock and Stone Cold on the mic. You can be great in the ring. Anybody can do that. But how good are you on the microphone? And that's really where the money can be made, and the legacy can be made. It's like you can be on YouTube, right? But how are you on the microphone? There's different levels to this shit. Big swing and a miss. DeJong. Sarah, are they getting rid of DeJong? He was on the trade block. 9-1. She's like, well, they might trade him here at the at bat. That's how bad he is. Now you see him, now you don't. It's a magic show. David Blaine. Yeah. Another thing about sports talk that irritates me too is that it's so fake and people are just so not genuine and everything is just so biased. Either the producers tell you or it's that person. It's like a personality rather than someone doing sports. Like whatever happened to the people like me and like Gus Johnson and like, people that just love the game. You can hear it in their voice, and it's true. That doesn't have to be an underlining agenda for whatever company is trying to push this team or this agenda or this storyline. Like, can't we just go somewhere where it's real, and get something that's unfiltered and unbiased? And that's obviously going to be the name of the new show that I'm going to be doing, starring your boy. So it'll be unbiased Monday through Friday during the football season for an hour, starring your boy, Orion Mikulek. We have undisputed, but how about unbiased? So there we go. Your boy's going to grind. I have to. So, and it'll be good to be able to catch up with people, and we're only going to do an hour. So it'll just be an hour show at some point, maybe at 8 or 9 a.m. my time. And then we'll just go for an hour and we'll discuss what's going on in the NFL world. So your boy's got ideas. I'm always an idea guy. Bottom of the eighth, 9-1 Cubbies, runner at second. Kinzer in the box. Yeah, on the mound. Kisner! Back. Go, baby! 9-3. The backup catcher with 2 homers. And what's the creepy thing? What's the creepy ESP thing that I said? Do you remember? I say ESP things once or twice a stream. But I said, why don't we get to 3? What's the score? 9-3 when it was at 0. And maybe we'll get more. But, if you told Sarah that you're going to be at 3 at some point in this game before it's over, she would have laughed at you. I'm telling you, the sports gods, they already announced through the government that aliens are real and that we have the ships and we have the bodies, right? And the government is finally getting to the point where they're releasing that, yes, it's true. We are not alone. We've known this, since the 50s or before, even through, everything else. That's why our technology took a big leap, with the Roswell incident and everything else. You notice once that Roswell shit happened, automobiles, airplanes, helicopters, everything kind of went up a level. Why do you think that was? Reverse engineering. We're finally at that point. And there it is. DeJong, Kisna. 3, baby. Wild that the backup catcher did that. See, and that's what makes me creeped out, because I'll just have this like number in my head. Okay, like you're getting blown out, the game is over, like 9-0. And then, sometimes, just I want to get something for Sarah here, and then you're losing and you're like, okay, but a little bit more, just a little bit more for just like the pride factor. And I swear it's like I'm like the sports gods, they're like, okay, I'll say it, I'll think it, I'll say it on the stream, and then it ends up happening what, like 90% of the time or more. All right, here we go, baby. Jordan Walker in the box. Time traveler, I'm telling you. I'm starting to believe I am. Because, I mean, like I said, I found that bag of toys just a couple days ago. I was born in 1982. I'm a toy collector, okay? And since 85, all the Hot Wheels that I found from my childhood are from the 70s and the early 80s. Like, I don't have things. I thought that my Hot Wheels would be from 1985 to 1992, from when I was like 3 to 10 years old. Why do I have Hot Wheels from 1975 that I played with? Why, it's not like my dad went to a garage sale and just bought a bunch of old ones. He wasn't into that stuff. We bought them at like Toys R Us. So how do I have all these ones from 75, 73, 78, and I had like 1983? I have found one Hot Wheel in my collection that was, in normal range, 87. One. So I don't know what to think of that. Time travel, black holes, aliens. It's real. Your boy. 9-3, baby. PF Chang just sent me a thing. Do you want to work at PF Chang's? No. Your boy's not going to work at the PF Chang's, even though their food is kind of good. Your boy is the first confirmed alien. But I'm a cool one, though. I mean, just a matter of if you want advice to be able to win in your fantasy football league, and you want to be able to make correct predictions or feel smart in front of your friend group. Yeah, I'm here. Nothing's worse than that person that tries to front in the friend group. It's like you're all into like baseball, but there's always that one guy or one girl that's kind of like halfway in, halfway not, and then they try to be like saying shit that doesn't make any sense, and then everyone has to look at each other and be like, "Yeah, don't be that guy or girl." But if you're a part of this channel, we're not average here. We're fanatics. Throw to first. Nice effort by Walker. 2 away. But I'm really confused, like literally. And I found like Lego set, that I had when I have it right here in my hand. It's like pristine. Like all my stuff is like pristine. Just crazy. Rhonda. Rhonda's got a crush. It's like, oh, he's single now. Crush dog. Crush on the O doggy dog. Bottom of the 8th, 9-3 Cubbies. Runner at second. Pitch is outside. 1-0 count. Yeah. DeMorian Hamilton. Oh, man. I could just imagine when you heard that, too. It's like hard to keep a straight face. It's like you don't want to be an asshole and make fun, but sometimes you got to rip into your friends a little bit. You got to keep them honest. You just can't have your friends fucking lying to everyone's face. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing them a solid by ripping into them and calling them out a little bit. I try to be kind of funny with it, with my friends and whatnot. But there's no need to front. He said DeMorian, like DeLorean. He just changed it. The DeLorean. DeMorian. Hamilton. You heard of him? The guy on the Bills. DeMorian. Hello, Hamilton. It's like we're not talking about the play, big dog, which is actually a very good one. Bottom of the 8th, 9-3 Cubbies. Big swing and a miss. Got him. I don't know. For me, like I said, I pretty much was, single for the last 2-3 years, just because like the connection really wasn't there. It was really just more like, roommates at that point. And I'm not the type of person to be scandalous, or, be shady. So I have dreams, I have goals. Some people do, some people don't. Some people are haters. Some people believe in you, and some people don't. Just because they can't see themselves doing something doesn't mean that I can't do it. I'm not you, you know. And my number one priority is Paisley, and obviously the channel and my dreams and my goals, and nothing's going to get in between that, and I love the connection. I think that's the most rewarding thing of the channel. Like, I know we're going to get big numbers. We'll end up making more money. I'll be able to do more giveaways and give away like NFL jerseys away, which is kind of like my dream, to be able to give you guys away, like not normal swag, but like Mitchell and Ness swag. That's my dream. I want to be able to do shit like that on the regular. Like every halftime, give away a Mitchell and Ness. That's the goal. But we have to be able to get more people that are willing to donate heavy to me, so that way I can do that. And so that way, every once in a while, we'll get someone that's kind of like low-key poor, and then we can bless them, like, and give them a jersey that they would never be able to buy in their lifetime. That's rewarding, and being able to, give you guys my knowledge and my passion for the game, and realize that there are other people out there besides you and your hometown state. We can vibe, and we can be funny, and, and we can connect off each other and whatnot, which is great. The connections is everything. That's really the number one most rewarding thing, is just being able to have that friendship. And sometimes people are like, if you're on YouTube or Twitch or you're not, it's either you're all in or you're out. But if you ever talk about YouTube with people that aren't on YouTube, they think you're a fucking weirdo. It's like, bro, I got better friendships and relationships with people on my channel than you guys. You guys say you're my friend, but you're really not. You know what I mean? You're a friend of me. You're hating on me, like low key away from me. Talk good to my face, walk away, hope I fail, like type of shit. So some people don't get it, but some people, can have like this fake relationship, but on certain channels, it's real. Like, you're closer than even some people in your family or your friends. It's just like, just because you're not face to face doesn't mean you connect. And that's really my thing, because I think I would have been a psychologist or therapist or, boys and girls club mentor, because I've always felt that I've had that connection with anybody, everybody. I don't give a shit what race you are, how old you are. We'll vibe. You like sports? You like wrestling? Fuck, best friend. Okay? Sports, wrestling. You like that shit? You like that shit? Good. We're friends. Boom. 9-3 Cubbies. Simple as that. 3 things in life to be happy. Someone to love, something to do, something to look forward to. You fucking remember that shit. Nice little blooper. But I am excited to be able to do the unbiased, We'll have that as the name of the show. Do it for an hour, talk NFL for an hour. That'll be nice. And then, I mean, if it gets to a point where we're actually getting a good crowd, then we can do 2 hours in the morning or even 3. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But again, I'm going to have to be doing so many videos, uploads, and everything, but another way for us to connect. Even if some people have work, fuck it. Go to the bathroom, hang out with your boy for fucking an hour. They're like, where the fuck is Elliot? He's taking his shit. He's watching NWSF. Unbiased. It's like undisputed, but better. They'd be like, Elliot, get out of there. You got to do what you got to do. Top of the 9th, 9-3 Cubbies. Runner at first. Game has been over since the first, but we're still chilling. Jamar Hamlin. You remember, Jamar. I mean, I imagine there's been a lot of those, people fronting like that. DeMorian Hamilton. The guy that collapsed in the Buffalo Bills saved him. DeMorian. That's crazy. He did not really say, though, DeMorian Hamilton, did he? Oh, my God. Oh, shit. It wasn't Mick, was it? Oh, man. I'm going to have to tease Mick if it was. Yeah, but people that aren't on YouTube or Twitch, they don't understand. They always look at you like, like you're like a weird one. But in reality, a lot of the people that aren't on YouTube, they're the fucking weird ones. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone has to be a YouTuber or be on YouTube. But I think that once you experience a connection on the channel, it's life-changing. It's actually like a good thing. It's a positive thing in sports and in wrestling right now. Like you actually get the most talented people in the world. Some of them are on YouTube right now, and even bigger than people on the networks or on TV or podcasts. I mean, I don't think, some people realize it, some people don't, but I guess if you want to end up being low key lazy and not look for stuff and just watch Stephen A or Skip your whole life and you're content with that, then you could do that. So, yeah, but he's not really into sports like you guys, though. See, your boy knows. Another ESP moment. See, the Elliot's now convinced. He's like, this guy's a fucking alien. I don't understand. He just fucking says something. He looks at a situation, he reads it through the chat, and then boom, prediction, accurate. Sports Jeopardy champion. No, but there's a lot of people out there that that got better knowledge than me. I'm just trying to be one of the best. Leave my mark and not be a skid. We ain't talking toilets. It's legacy. Wow, look at that blooper. Wow, how did that stay fair? Oh my God. Wow, this is one of those days. 10-3 Cubbies with the runner at first and second. This game's been going on for like 5 hours, it seems, huh? A brother. It's cool too because we have people in different age ranges from like 18 to 90. Like 80, 90 years old is how old some of our regulars are, or like people that pop in. And then you get people that are like, half the fan base is over 40, half is under. So it's cool. You're going to get, really good information here. We ain't a bunch of fucking Stephen A's and Skips here. Top of the ninth, 10-3, runner at first and second. Most games are 10 runs. Cubs second with 19, or is that 16? 16. Dodgers 13, Cubs 16. That's wild. Yeah. Mick is like, who the fuck is that Orion guy? What's he up to on that NWSN? What's he up to over there? That the onion guy. Your friend Orion on the NWSN, the YouTuber. Hello. You're like, Mick, bro, lay off the pizza. Man, do you miss not getting the free pizza anymore? That must have been nice, bro. Free pizza? Come on now. Especially if you're younger. Pepperoni pizza all day, every day. Look at you, bro. You fucking old as shit, dude. You're like a grandpa. Fucking sub when you were 15, you're 20. AARP. Go to fucking Sherry's. Get the discount. Get the newspaper with the coffee. You old as shit. 20. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you. That's why we have such a good connection, bro. Because even at an early age, when I was doing reaction videos with the Saints, the Saints fans, they knew a real one when they saw it. Because like I said, Saints fans might be the biggest haters on planet Earth. Like, when Dave Chappelle had like the haters ball, hate. Like literally the people that hate most on planet Earth aren't Eagle or Cowboy fans. They're Saints fans. They hate each other. So if they could actually like or love me and I'm a Buck fan, I mean, think about that for a second. How like weird that is. I got more Saints fans than Buck fans that support me. But again, when you can spot a real one, it don't matter what side you're on. Real is real. You guys are old as shit. Definitely miss the free pizza. I'm throwing up a picture of pizza. It's a pepperoni, 4K HD, and I got to do the dimensions. There's exact dimensions that you have to know. And I'm not going to give you the best necessarily overall, but let's see if I can find one that I like. Maybe deep dish. The deep dish. Ooh, French bread pizza. Damn, that looks good. Now I want pizza. Thanks a lot, guys. Deep dish. Now I'm hungry. Mother sucker. Top of the night, popped up. And that's the end of the top of the ninth. Cardinals, all they got to do is get 7 runs in the bottom of the ninth. No problem, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, we're looking at pizza now because I don't give a fuck. That's what we do here. We do some baseball and then time travel and then boom, pizza. I mean, what other sports YouTuber is going to be able to do something like that? All of a sudden go from sports to aliens to predictions in sports to fucking pizza? Get out of here. A little deep dish, but I need to see some pepperonis though. So we got to get off this. And I need to delete some of these Nolan Arenado photos for some pep. Pep for our boy Pep. Elliot Pep Evans. Like Pep Hamilton. All right, where is the PEP? PEP, the Elliot Pepperoni. We still got a bottom of the ninth, so hopefully this will. There we go. There's Elliot's photo. Yeah, wappa, 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 chicken wappa. BK, have it your way. You rule. I heard that fucking commercial a billion times. I mean, that shit is like embedded in my brain. I mean, we wanted to actually get along, with other people. That you make them fucking torture to that. Waterboarding and all this other fucking techniques that are being used. You used to have someone sit there and listen to goddamn Burger King commercials for like 2 hours straight. You'll get all the answers you need. I mean, it's a catchy jingle, but they didn't need to make 10 variations and 10 different lengths of the song. Some songs, commercial, it's the 20 seconds. Other ones, it's like 1 minute. And then they have the long version where they got like 25 actors, jumping up and down from bed, going into the car, telling me how many options they have with their Whopper, singing the song. I don't need to see a fucking play in my commercial, let alone talk about all those things. It's like a 3-minute commercial. I mean, come on, dude. And then on top of that, they spent like millions and millions of dollars, and then they had like hundreds of them close in like the Midwest, like a couple months later. The commercials didn't work. They should have gave their employees more money and did less commercials. Dumb dogs. Wappa, 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 wappa. So you put me in charge. Your boy knows. There was good things with it. The jingle was jingly, right? But I can't have it on every fucking network, every fucking hour. I can't even get away from you, Burger King. It's like TBS, fuck you. TNT, okay, let me go to Animal Planet. Motherfucker is there. It's like, I mean, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. That shit was on every network. I swear I could not get away from the BK all day. You rule. Popped up, one away. Fuck, man. And it makes you fucking go to the bathroom. The shit don't sit in your stomach right. Like it tastes good with the flame broiled, right? And I love the Whoppers when I was a kid. You get them for 99 cents. Big onion rings that were actually good, not soggy, and a big strawberry shake. That was my go-to as a kid. But they have been garbage. Like the burgers are smaller. They don't taste as good. Fries are not as good. Onion rings are smaller, don't taste as good. And the shakes aren't as good either. And then they cost more than they did back then. Wappa, 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 wappa. But every once in a while, I'll cave and I'll be like, all right, I'll go eat this Burger King and it'll give me some fucking shits like 30 minutes later and I'm going to feel like shit, but at least it was good, going in. Like a Taco Bell, you're in trouble coming out. At some point, you're going to go to the bathroom and you're lucky if you eat Taco Bell and you're good. Like, it doesn't matter how healthy you are or not. Fucking McLovin in the building. It's fucking McLovin. Dude, how did we get McLovin? Dude, McLovin is my boy. Christopher McLovin. Cubs 10, Cardinals 3. We got a celebrity in the building. McLovin. I think me and McLovin would be good friends. Still my favorite movie. Like I said, I like Step Brothers a lot as well. Like there's certain movies I can just watch over and over and over, but the one that I can watch over and over and over and it has a connection with me, just like Kanye West, I Wonder. I listen to that song, it connects with me. I'll get emotional sometimes. It's just like super bad. There's not going to be another one unless another movie like that with those type of actors that portrays high school that way, where people can be assholes, but there's cool things too, like parties and friendships and and girls and just relationships and beer runs and you know what I mean? Like that's why that movie to me is epic. Because it's a representation of not this like fake high school. And there was other stuff that was on back in the day, other high school movies, but there's never been a high school movie that portrayed high school more true to what it is in the last 20, 30 years than that movie, or maybe all time. Like there's drinking, there's going to be drugs, there's going to be partying, there's going to be girls, there's going to be skipping school, parking in a spot where you shouldn't be, people being fucking mean and you get spit on, like it totally personifies, like some people were McLovin. Some of you guys were Jonah Hill. Some of you guys were Michael Cera, or maybe some of y'all were the bullies, spitting and getting fucking hit in the face with the club at the end, And I still have watched, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched Superbad. Hundreds. I mean, it's up there with my Star Wars movies. I've watched all the Star Wars movies a shitload of times. Every time there's a marathon on like TBS, TNT, seen every movie over like 100 times. I'll watch it. I mean, I don't even know exactly what's going to happen, but it makes me feel good. Sometimes it's just having that comfort level. And if you love a movie, and Superbad is the best movie to have in the background at a party. So if you're ever at a party and the music is dead or something happened, and boom, put on, find the Netflix or the Hulu or whatever, and put the McLovin, put the Superbad on. It's the best background party movie ever made, or background movie in the background. And there it is. Final score: Cubs 10, Cardinals 3. How many ladies in the house? How many ladies in the house without a spouse? I'm a independent shit. You already know it, dude. Like I said, I won't lie, bro. I'm a real one. That shit makes me cry almost because like I have goals, I have dreams. It's usually kind of meant for like that college kid that not to give up and to be able to believe in themselves and to keep going. But obviously, you guys seen my journey and how things and how tough it's been for me. And so, like, there'll be certain songs like that, Juicy, for Biggie, is number 2. And then obviously nobody does it better with Warren G and Nate Dogg to give me that West Coast flavor. Those 3 are my like motivational songs where if I need a little boost, those are the 3 that I listen to. But my favorite and the one that I connect to the most, even though I never really was the biggest Kanye fan. I mean, I was a fan, and then obviously his work kind of went downhill, Kardashian, and people think he's crazy, but you can't take away the musical genius that is Kanye West. And I feel that I Wonder will connect with more people on planet Earth than any other song as far as hip hop that has been put out in the last 20, 30 years. You have to listen to the words, listen to, some of it is catchy, but it has meaning. And like I said, there's not very many rap songs that you can listen to that are going to make you fucking cry or make you feel an emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like Biggie, Juicy, and then that one, and that's it, for me. And obviously my top 5 albums that I listened to as a kid, my first 5, number 1, Dr. Dre, The Chronic, 1992, 10 years old, corrupted my mind forever. Right? Number 2, 94, Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. What do I need to say? Snoop Doggy Dogg, D-O-double-G, game over. Okay? And then after that, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, double album. After that, the Juicy, the Biggie, the double album, the Hypnotize, and then Bone Thugs and Harmony, Eternal 1999. It's game over. I mean, obviously, you start off with those 5 in your repertoire for rap. I mean, there's no better 5 than that. I mean, as far as being a kid, and then those are the first 5. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to McLovin. Now I got to put McLovin photos up, see if he makes another McLovin file. And usually the person that gets booted will be the one that makes the profile. Obviously we know one person, will do another. And then, sometimes it ends up being, someone that just, doesn't have anything better to do, or they understand how dope we are and they're pissed off that they can't be a part of the clique. McLovin. I mean, where else on YouTube are you going to get to see fucking McLovin come into the chat, and then we get to look at McLovin? I am McLovin. McLovin's my boy. And obviously McLovin is the adventurous one. So that's why I already know I would be, Michael Cera's shy, Jonah Hill's shy. And obviously we already know McLovin is shy, but, put a little beer in you, get a little courage, and you end up being the star of the movie. McLovin. I heard it has a lot of hops in it. Let me see your ID. I've been drinking that for years. It's also the supporting cast, that makes the movie so fucking good, in my opinion. Like, you have to have the right people, but just with McLovin's entourage here, these are probably the sleepers in the movie. Like, you don't realize like how good of a role that the cops have in the movie too. Like, there is just no, I mean, you couldn't pick two better people to do the cops than those two. McLovin. All right. Well, I'm going to do food here for maybe another like 9 or 10 minutes. And then we'll see if anyone else shows up, if we get a dono train going, or if someone comes in and blesses the channel. And then I would possibly go a little bit further. If not, then at that point, once we do food, we can end the game and end the McLovin. And then, I can hang out with Paisley and we can go for some more exercise. And then we'll be back tomorrow with the Diamondbacks and the Mariners tomorrow around 6:30. So you guys let me know where you guys want to go here for the last like 10 minutes or so. Otherwise, I'll be doing photos of Superbad and McLovin or going into food. So comment below if you want to see something else or something different. Let me know. Otherwise, it will be McLovin, Superbad, and food. I mean, it's not every day you get a celebrity like McLovin hopping in the stream, But my favorite movie. And I feel that a lot of people, are sleeping on the movie. They know it's good, but they don't realize it's like a cult classic. Like when, years go by and you go back and think of like, what is the most accurate movie that depicts high school, where you have a shitload of memories, whether they're good or terrible memories. Everyone has known a type of McLovin or a Michael Cera or a Jonah Hill or someone in that movie. You can relate to certain situations in that movie, and that's what makes it so special. McLovin. Oh, I got some dope artwork. Oh, dude, this is dope. Look at this. Fucking super bad artwork. This is insane. I love this. Look at this shit. I heard it has a lot of hops in it. Oh, dope. That's like a Stranger Things vibe. Holy shit, I'm keeping this. Dude, this is incredible. Wow. I think I found my new background. That is insane. Definitely Stranger Things vibes. I love that. Holy shit. Holy shit. A D's nuts. Yeah. Talk about a guy that ruined his reputation and his life tenfold. But if you're a weirdo, you're a weirdo. Eventually you'll get exposed. McLovin. Yes, we did. But again, what makes it so good is they didn't do one. They could have did a college one, but it wouldn't have been as good as the high school one. You know what I mean? It's like doing Saved by the Bell and Saved by the Bell college years. It's always about Bayside, right? With AC Slater and Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski. It's just like you're going to take it somewhere where it could still be good, but it will never touch the original. And just the fact that they didn't do one, that's what makes it more epic. You know what I'm saying? We wanted another one, but it never would have been as good as this. And to stay away was the smartest thing that they did. They could have did a super bad 2, 3, 4, like every year they were in college, and it would have been awesome. But again, it's never going to top the first. But if they would have done it right, oh, could you imagine freshman year, and then they have the cops in it, or maybe they're working like security, and then they're at the different colleges or whatever, or Jonah transfers. Oh my gosh, it would be insane. I know they've been talking about it. That they were, it was on the table that they were talking, but or maybe they do it where their sons are in high school, and then it shows what the sons do, and they're the ones that are like the background characters. That's what I would do. Get to the point where more time passes, and then you're doing super bad in high school all over again with all new actors and actresses. But then you have like McLovin's son, and you have like Jonah Hill and Michael Sarah's son or daughter, and then boom. See, look at your boy, ideas right there. Like, God damn, that's good. One fucking name? One fucking name. What are you, Cher? He's like, why don't you just choose a common name? Read a book, motherfucker. Muhammad is the most common name on planet Earth. So what are we going to do? Are we going to do this? I am McLovin. Read a fucking book, Steph. Oh, yeah. That might be my number 2. You know what I mean? Like I love Step Brothers a lot though, just because of the torment with the brothers and all the shenanigans that they get in. And then there's some emotional parts, like when Will Ferrell sings. That shit moves you. Like you can feel what it's like in his head to be this person that's uber talented, but people think he's a fucking loser. They don't understand how talented that both the guys were, even though they were just weird. They were really smart, low key smart dudes, but they were just, kind of, living at home or maybe not motivated, maybe losers to some. But those losers would make you end up rooting for them by the time you got towards the middle or the end of the movie. And then I love me some Grandma's Boy, too. That one's excellent. I'm a big Nick Swardson fan. So there's certain fans of people that I am. And Aziz Ansari, I'm a big fan of his as well. I usually listen to Aziz when I, exercise once in a while, or Nick Swardson. Those are the two that are my favorite by far. I'm not a fan of everyone that's out there, but those are my 2 favorite. This is so dope. I'm a big Stranger Things fan, and this is done so well. Like, this is like the coolest thing. Like, I would rock that on a t-shirt, like fucking every day. Like, this has got to be like my new background. This has got to be, maybe I have to do it right now. Can I make this my background right now? Set as my desktop picture. Boom. Oh, shit. It looks incredible. McLovin. Yeah, that'll be something that will be a thing one day. Watch Superbad and Grandma's Boy with O-Dog. Exactly. Sometimes you don't want to ruin greatness. And even though the super bad legacy would have been big, even if they did a 2 and a 3 instead of, but, going from a movie that was a 10 and then a couple 9s, we would have been happy, right? But not to do any and just to like keep it, then it preserves the integrity, because how many great series stop at 1? None. Your Fast and the Furious is on like their 30th movie. Those motherfuckers never quit. As long as The Rock and Vin Diesel are alive, they're going to be doing Fast and the Furious 80. So it starts to lose its meaning a little bit. And if they just did 1 movie or 2, the legacy would have been different. But they were making so much money off of it. That's what it became about. but it's not about money. It's about legacy. Yeah, now I got to put Grandma's Boy up. I like that one too. I can watch that every day and not get sick of it. The video games were a really big part of my life growing up, and I know that type of crowd. The video game crowd is different from a sport crowd or a crowd that likes cars and things like that. Oh my god, I got the dopest background ever. Just the fact that it's like animated, illustrated, and then down below, like a filter. Grandma's Boy. That's a cool one too. Shit, now I got to watch both of these movies now. Love this movie. Dante. Oh my god, dude! If you've never watched it, it's life changing, dude. Like I'm 41 and I fucking watch that shit hundreds of times, dude. Like you know what I mean? Like it's incredible. There's not very many movies, and the reason why they're so good is that it connects with more people than most movies. Like there's like a lot of times you don't have to be the Dante or or the main character, the gaming guy, but it's just a matter of you can connect with at least somebody in the movie, and sometimes you can connect to more than one person. Like you can see yourself, you've been in that situation, or you're maybe your personality is similar to one of these guys. All right, I'm gonna go hang out with Paisley now. She's been waiting for me. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. I wish the game was a better outcome for Sarah. Final score 10-3, but I wanted 3 from the sports gods. They gave it to me. So at least we got you to 3 for pride, and your backup catcher ended up getting 2 home runs in the game, which is crazy. Kisna, right? And obviously, with the ejection, it changed the whole dynamic of the game, which was kind of shitty. But I appreciate everyone that came in, everyone that donated, commented, shared. And we'll get back to the Mariners and the Diamondbacks tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have a better dono day. And yeah, send me some stuff, links or anything, reviews, anything that you want to send me on Instagram or whatever, Elliot, due to those coming out tonight. Send me some information or links or something with the postie and the Trav. But I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And thank you to everyone that liked, shared, commented, donated on Twitter or here on YouTube. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.